Trench into the penalty area, chested down by Danny Hall, picked up here by Adam Boyes towards the left-hand side of the penalty area, gets it back in. You'll find a way, you're doing well. Ball played forward from Stephen Trench into the penalty area, chested down by Danny Hall, picked up here by Adam Boyes towards the left-hand side of the penalty area, gets it back in. Liam Dickinson, oh, Nicky Marshall! He has put the ball in on the edge of the 6-yard box. Has Nicky Marshall turned this game round and perhaps possibly sent Guiseley through to the Panorama Conference?
Good evening and welcome to Nethermoor Park on a cold and possibly frosty Tuesday night for the visit of Tranmere Rovers in Guiseley's latest adventures in the Panorama National League. Well, we've had a week off after Guiseley's game against Wrexham on Saturday was the only casualty of the weekend, so that should be fresh, and there's some huge team news to bring you. Myself and Chris Bell will be discussing that just before kick-off, and we'll have full match commentary with Chris and Colin Robertson this evening on a huge encounter here at Nethermoor and a chance to grab 3 points and put Tranmere's promotion push onto the bricks. We'll be here just after this.
Norburn goes for goal. Oliver Norburn! What a hit! All of 35 yards out. He had the sighter earlier. That is an absolutely stunning strike.
Good evening, everyone. My name is David Kendra. Welcome to Guiseley Radio and our coverage tonight of this game against Tranmere Rovers. It's been a long time since our last meeting here, and I'm joined tonight by Chris Bell. Chris, how are you feeling about tonight's game?
Where do you start with this one? Cautious. Actually, I'm not going to say it. I was cautiously optimistic for the game against Forest Green, and look how that turned out. Tonight, I'm going to be a little bit more realistic. This is going to be an almighty task when you look at the form that Tranmere have been on. But as we've said a few times over the season, we are yet to take that massive scalp. That still hasn't really happened. The best we've come to is a point away at Grimsby. Tonight, we have the opportunity. We are fresher, or we should be fresher, in terms of the legs. You know, they had that game at Gateshead. Ours was postponed. No,
You are veering towards cautiously optimistic, Chris.
At this rate, I'm lulling myself into that false sense of security. We could get something here. It's going to be difficult. Let me just finish
it's
with
not the despair, Chris.
It's
not the despair, it's the hope.
It's the hope that kills you.
Well, it's a very cold evening, but it does look like a very good turnout tonight. The away end, it's a segregated evening, and the away end does look pretty full as well, so there's going to be quite some atmosphere tonight as well.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, they've come over within the hundreds, without a doubt, over from Merseyside. So, you know, I mean, in the press box alone, I think we've got the biggest attendance of the season, without a doubt. It's a very packed house all around, to be fair. And, you know, as long as we get a few more home fans trickling, it's not quite as full as I was expecting this time. Maybe the weather's putting a few people off turning up until the last minute.
Well, it is very cosy up in this press box, and it will be quite an evening under the floodlights tonight. There are some huge team news as well, which Colin will take you through in more detail. I'll just quickly have a quick rundown of the teams. Daniel Atkinson continues in goal for the Lions. Ryan Toulson, Danny Lowe, Jake Lawler, Rob Atkinson, Danny Hall, Will Hatfield, Liam Dickinson, Nicky Boschel, Oliver Norburn and James Hurst. But the huge news is on the bench, where we have Ben Parker, Adam Boyes, Gavin Rothery, and I don't know if you remember this man, Ollie Johnson on the bench, along with Anthony Dudley. Ollie Johnson back on the bench, wrapped in bubble wrap in a big comfy chair.
It's just remarkable, isn't it? I mean, it's been... The words "a long time coming" don't do it justice. He last played in that playoff final, and Ollie Johnson is back on the bench.
Yes, we remember him. I remember him well, just hobbling off at Chorley, and that was the last we saw him in. And we have seen him warming up with the team as if to just tempt us into believing that maybe he might be coming back. But tonight he has been named on the bench. It's a big game though, and it's an important game. It's an important home game. Do you risk him? 20 minutes to go, 1-0 down. Do you risk him?
Yeah. I don't think Mark would have put him on the bench if he wasn't fairly sure. Well, that's not confident, is it? If he wasn't confident that he can come on and he'll be all right, to be honest. I mean, don't get me wrong, I imagine that Ollie is just desperate to be back out in a game scenario. I don't know for definite. You would hope that he'll have been used perhaps in the under-21s recently or gained some form of game time that way as well. And again, that would add to the fact that you wouldn't think Mark would put them out there, put Ollie out there if he wasn't anywhere near ready. He's not that kind of manager. He's not a daft manager by any stretch. So, you know, if you are one down with 20 to go and you're looking for that little bit of magic, fingers crossed he's still got it.
There's 20 minutes every season that he's played for us where he's just been absolutely unplayable.
I'm not convinced that
it
could
tonight?
be tonight because it's it'll be his first game
It
back.
would be fairy tale though, wouldn't
I
it?
think getting him on the pitch and getting him off the pitch under his own power is going to be a bonus. So if we can get him on, get him a bit of game time, that will just be terrific.
But I mean,
what he can bring.
That is about as strong a Lions side as I've seen in a while. Hatfield and Norburn running the midfield again. Dicko up front. James Hurst, presumably, we're not. Where's he playing today?
He'll be on the right midfield.
Be on the right midfield.
He'll be at right back. I mean, let's just quickly talk through the formation. It'll be Dan Atkinson in goal. Then you'll be looking at Ryan Toulson at right back, Daniel Lowe at left back, centre backs of Rob Atkinson and Jake and Danny Hall. Jake Lawler and Will Hatfield. You think will be the two centre midfielders. Oliver Norburn just in front. He'll be in behind Liam Dickinson, so that leaves on the flanks James Hurst down the right and Nicky Boschel down the left, you would presume, the 4-2-3-1. To be fair, Nicky Boschel is somebody that I want to touch on in that I've been pleasantly surprised by him in recent weeks. He had a long time when he just wasn't really catching. He was getting 6-7 minutes off the end, but he's impressed me in the games that he started recently.
Well, as the teams come out onto the pitch tonight, big 3 points at stake for both sides for different reasons. For 3 points for Guiseley would be another step towards safety. 3 points for Tranmere would be another step towards that promotion push. A draw really isn't an option for either side, doesn't really help anyone, so we're hoping for a good game tonight. And we'll be taking you through it with Chris Bell and first Colin Robertson.
Thanks, Dave. We're just squeezing into the press box, getting ourselves ready for this game. With Guiseley looking to record what would be an invaluable first home win in the league since that game against Bromley way back in November. We've of course played in the FA Trophy here. We beat Burscough back in December, but joy, the celebration has been a little bit sparse at Nethermoor. Although we've had some great results on the road, we haven't had such a great run of games and of results at home. So tonight would be a great way to get that rectified. Two sides are coming out now, so chance for us to give you the team lineups. First of all, for Tranmere, Scott Davis, Liam Ridhull, Steve Jennings, the captain, Lee Vaughan, James Norwood, Michael Iakwe, Adam Meckie, Jeff Hughes, Jake Kirby, Steve McNulty, Michael Higdon. On the bench, Ian Turner, Jack Macrath, Martin Taylor and Gary Taylor-Fletcher and Jay Harris. Very strong lineup for Tranmere. For the Lions, Daniel Atkinson retains his place in the Lions goal. Ryan Toulson, Danny Lowe, Jake Lawler, Rob Atkinson, Danny Hall, Will Hatfield, Liam Dickinson, Nicky Boschel, Oliver Norburn, James Hurst. And then on the bench, Ben Parker, Adam Boys, Gavin Rothery, Ollie Johnson and Anthony Dudley. So again, no substitute goalkeeper, and again a chance for Dan Atkinson to retain his place in the starting 11. And of course the big news and the rather exciting news is the fact that Ollie Johnson is looking like he's making his way back into playing contention this evening and may well get to play a part. The referee today just
going through the coin toss with the two captains. And that's Danny Lowe and Steve Jennings. And we'll just wait for that. Chris, what are your final thoughts ahead of this game then?
Well, as I said before to Dave, we haven't yet taken that massive scalper result. The nearest we've come was to take a point away at Grimsby at the start of the year. We haven't got that win over a giant of the league, and it's fair to say that Tranmere would count as one of those. We were narrow in defeat, and last second penalty really in added time denied us a point there as we lost 2-1. A chance with us being the fresher side to make amends and hopefully get 3 points in this game, but it is going to be a massive ask with a side like this.
So as we are about to get underway, Tranmere line up from left to right with their fans urging them on at the railway end of the ground. They're playing in a sort of luminous yellow away strip tonight. Guiseley in white, navy blue shorts and socks. First ever trip to Nethermoor for Tranmere Rovers. Guiseley will be hoping they'll be waiting for their first ever win here a little longer than this evening. Referee today, Stephen Ross. And he's assisted by Sean Fierick and Hristo Kraivanov. The fourth official tonight. Should have good eyesight, it's Duncan Carrott. And as we get away with the ball, Chris unflinches to my gag there.
I'm going to let
our
it
left.
slide. It's early on.
The ball knocked out of play for a Guiseley throw in right back position. Important that the Lions get a solid start to this evening's game. The throw from Toulson back into Danny Lowe on the edge of his own 18-yard box, flicked on by Nicky Boschel, and the ball runs all the way through to the Tranmere goalkeeper, Scott Davies. The keeper takes his time and then launches the ball in towards the Guiseley back line. Won by Danny Hall, now picked up there by Will Hatfield, bustling in midfield. He plays the ball up towards Liam Dickinson. Dickinson plays it back to Hatfield, but his touch is intercepted by Jennings. The captain gets the ball forward. Higdon now takes it down but can't control, and it's out of play for a Guiseley throw just inside their own half. Lions playing in the front of a ground which week in and week out is being upgraded steadily in advance of the deadline at the end of March. So it is again tonight. And Guiseley come forward again now. This time the ball threaded in towards Jake Lawler is overhit and won back now by Norwood, the man who scored that late penalty against Guiseley at Tranmere back in November, I think the game was. And Guiseley tidy up with an interception coming in from Atkinson, Rob Atkinson that is, who plays the ball up to Dickinson, who muscles his way on the ball into retaining possession for Guiseley. And then on the halfway line, it's good work from Oliver Norburn, who chips it up towards Liam Dickinson. Dickinson can't win the ball on that occasion, but Norburn recovers the second phase. Guiseley trying to tease it forward, but Tranmere hold firm, a team that are in great form now and now coming away on the attack here with Meckie, who is adjudged to have been bundled over by Hall, much to the dissatisfaction of the home crowd. And a free kick to Tranmere midway through the Guiseley half.
Yeah, I think with the crowd on this one, it was a little bit soft. He was trying to get away and had a bit of pace about him. He was always going to try and go down in that situation, and he's won inside the free kick. Somebody that, if I remember rightly, had a good game against us at Prenton Park earlier in the season, Adam Meckie.
That's a free kick taken square by Hughes, and Guiseley actually win possession back, which will frustrate the visitors. And in the end, as Ryan Toulson came away with the ball, he was tugged back, and Guiseley will win a free kick. So the danger passes without much concern for Mark Bauer away on that dugout on the far side. Guiseley will be shooting up now from the edge of the centre circle. It's a long one up to Hurst, who chests it down well, plays it into Dickinson, into Jake Lawler. Lawler's ball is stray, and it's won by Hughes and played forward towards Norwood. Headed away this time by Atkinson, but Tranmere win the second phase and earn themselves a throw-in. Midway through the Lions' half. On the left-hand side now, Ridderhull will play the ball forward, takes it down. Good control from the full-back, gets the ball slammed into the body of Toulson. Guiseley concede a throw in though.
Yeah, it's encouraging signs from a Tranmere perspective at this stage.
The ball back to Tranmere's possession and whipped into the box and flicked in towards James Norwood. He takes a dinking header, but it's well wide and behind for a goal kick. Dan Atkinson's never really looked back since he's made his way into the side for Guiseley. This is his first touch of the ball tonight. Stephen Drench is still not even on the bench because Mark Bauer's opting not to choose a goalkeeper, preferring to keep his outfield options more open.
Well, I've seen Drench, he was warming up earlier on, but as you say, Mark opting to go with an extra outfielder on the bench. But it's just showing how well Dan Atkinson has been doing of late, that he's keeping Steve Drench at the side.
So a goal kick nonetheless actually for Tranmere. The ball sort of tamely goes out. This game hasn't sparkled into life in the early stages. Very tentative start from both sides really. The ball forward that Jake Lawler inadvertently flicks on, finds Mekki. Mekki takes a shot from distance with the left foot. Great save from Dan Atkinson. Now it's sparked into life. Adam Mekki with a shot from distance with his left foot. Dan Atkinson down to his left and palms the ball behind for a corner.
Yeah, it was a really good save there from Dan Atkinson. Adam Mekki jinked his way in field, got the shot off, forced the save out of Dan Atkinson.
So corner now to Tranmere on this near side, the right-hand side as they attack the Guiseley goal. Whipped in towards the edge of the 6-yard box, headed away. Good battling here from Nicky Boschel to win it, but it's won by Lee Vaughan. Vaughan down the left-hand side will get the ball crossed, but blocked by Ryan Toulson, or Nicky Boschel rather. But the second phase is won back again. Kirby wins the ball, and then a wayward pass over the bar and behind for a goal kick. Gives Guiseley the respite. After Tranmere had definitely the best chance of this early sparring, and the first chance really in this game, almost resulting in a goal for Adam Mekki, but a great save from Dan Atkinson just a couple of minutes ago.
He did well, did Dan Atkinson on that case. I think one of the worrying things or unnerving things from Guy's perspective is the amount of experience that there is in this Tranmere side as they come forward again.
And they do, with Mekki playing the ball to the right where Vaughan has it. Lee Vaughan down that right flank, running towards the touchline. He's held up by Danny Lowe, but gets the ball into the box, but straight at Dan Atkinson. Sorry, go on, Chris. I was just going to say there's a couple of score lines, and I'll give you them quickly. Grimsby 1, Southport 0. Dover 0, Welling 1. That's not a great scoreline from our perspective. Neither is Chester 1, Aldershot 0. And in the north, Gainsborough 0, Curzon Ashton 1. Excuse me.
And now I was just going to refer to the experience that there is on this side. Steve Jennings, an experienced Football League midfielder. You've got players like Jeff Hughes as well, likewise, over 30, but a lot of experience. Michael Higdon, somebody that was at Sheffield United in League One earlier this season. He spent the vast majority of his career, goal scoring in the Scottish Premier League. So there's a lot of experience in the side and on the bench as well when you look at the fact that Gary Taylor-Fletcher is on there as well.
What a calibre to play. Vaughan now gets the ball into the box and it's helped away only as far as the edge of the area, and it's palmed wide rather by Dan Atkinson as Michael Higdon, the man with all that experience we were just talking about, picked up the ball on the edge of the 18-yard box and tried to float it past the goalkeeper. Good reactions from Dan Atkinson, but it's another Tranmere corner.
Yeah, he's done very well there, Dan Atkinson. It was a lovely turn and an early shot as well from Higdon.
Ball into the box, and again Guiseley having to live by their nerves. An interception this time from Danny Hall, preventing Steve McNulty from getting on the end of that cross into the area. Another corner for Rovers. Guiseley feeling the pressure now, again from this near side. Tranmere play the ball into the box, and it's headed off the crossbar from Higdon. The ball into the area, cannons back off the crossbar. Guiseley managed to get it away, only as far as McNulty, who's just dinking past two players on the edge of the 18-yard box, goes through the return pass. Firm challenge comes in from Danny Lowe to clear the ball, but it's real backs against the wall stuff now from Guiseley as Tranmere begin to turn the screw. Ball back into the box. This time another shot blocked, this time by Rob Atkinson from Jake Kirby, and Dan Atkinson collects the ball, prevents it going behind for what would have been yet another corner to the visitors.
Well, Guiseley, I think it would be fair to say, struggled to get going. They've looked unable to cope with Tranmere in this opening 8 minutes or so.
Still 0-0. Pressure on Guiseley in these early stages now. A long ball forward, trying to relieve the pressure up towards Hurst. Hatfield muscling his way through a back line, but finding himself crowded out. Claims of a free kick from Liam Dickinson on that far side. Referee unmoved. Tranmere get the ball up to Higdon once again, and then played out to this right-hand side where they will lose possession because Adam Mecki can't keep that ball in play, and it's going to be a Guiseley throw from left-back position with Danny Lowe.
You can certainly see the idea from Tranmere's perspective. You've got Higdon and Norwood through the middle, then you've got the players on the wings, Mecki and Kirby, who like to get forward as well and try and support the attacking options.
Chipped forward now from Ryan Tilson as Guiseley get the ball up to Liam Dickinson. He goes down, complains about the challenge, but referee waves away the appeal. McNulty now puts his foot through the ball, gets it up to the halfway line, laid back by Higdon, and now to the right-hand side where Lee Vaughan takes over. He floats the ball up towards the back post, and it's a chance here for Tranmere, and it's just nodded wide by James Norwood. It was a great floated ball. Dan Atkinson not swift off his line. James Norwood had broken the pace of Ryan Tolson and got there ahead of him to the ball on the edge of the 6-yard box, nodded the ball down, but just across the face of goal and behind for a goal kick.
It's quite remarkable, isn't it? 10 minutes in, Tranmere have had 3 glorious chances, and that was possibly, from our perspective, the easiest of the lot. Guiseley just on the edge at the moment.
Not at the races yet, are we?
Not in the slightest.
The ball away from Atkinson, flicked on by Hurst. Nodded on now by Norburn, but again Guiseley losing possession, playing centrally through the middle of that Tranmere defence and midfield is not working for us. And it's gone forward and in towards Higdon, who is in turn stopped in his tracks by the referee, Stephen Ross, who says he was pulling at the shirt of Danny Hall. So Guiseley have a free kick.
Oh, 11 gone. You're kind of thinking or trying to work out what is the way that Guiseley are going to be able to grow into this game. Possibly down the flanks, perhaps, when you've got players like Hurst.
Now Guiseley just getting a little pressure on Tranmere as the ball goes forward, and James Hurst forcing his way into the Tranmere box, but a deflection almost sent it through to Nicky Boschel. It was a remote chance though, and it's snuffed out by the quick actions of Scott Davies, who claims the ball for Tranmere, plays it forward. Picked up now by Jeff Hughes in the middle of the park for Tranmere, and then sent long towards Higdon. Higdon is going to be flagged offside, returning from an offside position just on the edge of the 18-yard box. No protest from the Tranmere striker. And Guiseley get the free kick.
It's a little bit hard to see what Guiseley and the Mark Bowers game plan was at this stage, isn't it, from the off, because they've, as I say, struggled to really get the ball.
It's a struggle to see what shape we're playing, to be honest. I know it's meant probably a 4-2-3-1, but it doesn't look like it.
Being pulled all over the place, aren't they?
Mecki plays the ball to the left-hand side. Norwood picks it up on the edge of the area. Guiseley have to be aware of his threat. He blasts the ball in towards a goal, and it's stopped by a Tranmere man ahead of him. An unintended deflection that gives the ball here to Norburn. Norburn's frustrated. He can't see a way forward, so goes square instead to Danny Lowe. Lowe, palms upward, looking for the option. Opts to go back in the end to Danny Hall. Frustration from the Guiseley back line as they're looking to the front line to help them somewhat with options. Tranmere at the moment holding good shape and preventing that front line from providing them. It's now Danny Hall. Ball up towards James Hurst. Over him and out for a Tranmere throw in right back position. And in the end, the Lions have to resort to an optimistic long ball that results in conceding possession to the visitors.
Yeah, trying to get the long ball down this left-hand side. It works quite often, to be fair, for Guiseley normally, but this isn't any normal game.
Oh, and now Mecky's just robbed the ball off the Guiseley back line, running down in towards the edge of the penalty area. He goes down. He will claim the free kick as he was in a tussle with Danny Hall. He delayed his fall to the ground, so it does certainly look like he might have played the referee a little bit on that instance, but there was certainly a tussle between the two players on the edge of the 18-yard box, and this one is literally a few inches outside the penalty area, just up from the angle of the penalty area on the right-hand side. And a real chance now for Tranmere to distribute this ball into the box. 4-5 bright yellow shirts in that penalty area to aim for.
Yeah, it was a peculiar, wasn't it? It seemed like Mecky had done the hard work by getting past him and then went down.
It's almost like he took the option of going down, didn't he, with the angle he was at. Guiseley have got a two-man wall here on the right-hand side of the penalty area. This one will go across the face of goal, I'm sure. Mecky, one of the players standing over it. It's delivered into the box. It's headed off the edge of the 6-yard box by Danny Lowe in a dangerous position, and then scooped back in by Lee Vaughan and goes behind for a Guiseley goal kick. But yet again, another very tentative moment for that Lions defence, and 15 minutes gone, still goalless, but the pressure all from Tranmere.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, a free header in that situation, sent goal bound. Thankfully, Danny Lowe was there. Not being funny, but with a kit like Tranmere's, you shouldn't be losing your man if you're marking from a set piece. With a kit like that, you can see your man from a mile away. So there should be no excuses for conceding free headers.
It's certainly the opposite, isn't it, nowadays, this trend? The opposite of the Alex Ferguson grey kit era in the 90s. Do you know what I'm talking about, Chris?
It rings a bell.
Oh, Southampton versus Manchester United in the 90s. Southampton won and Fergie blamed it on the grey kit. It's Guiseley who have the ball for a moment, and Liam Dickinson with what looks like a high foot on Vaughan, but referee keeps the game moving, and McNulty retrieves the ball for Tranmere up towards the halfway line, and there's a clip on Higdon who goes down. And Guiseley concede the free kick inside the Tranmere half, and the Lions fans muted this evening at the moment with the pressure all from Tranmere. This is a good crowd, though, in tonight for Nethermoor. It's going through its improvements, so it means it's not quite at capacity yet. Another big Tuesday night next weekend as well, with Grimsby coming. The free kick from Vaughan goes long, flicked onto the edge of the 18-yard box, picked up now by Hughes. It's out here for Ridiolf, who plays the ball back and then crossed in towards the back post. Norwood is there, but it's claimed by Dan Atkinson. And Guiseley now come away with it with Danny Lowe playing it square. Nicky Boschel, a rare touch of the ball. He plays a crossfield ball for Ryan Tilson, still in his own half. Under tremendous pressure there from Jake Kirby. But Tilson does well, holds on to the ball, plays it square in towards Hatfield. But Hatfield's given little chance to win that one. Jennings closing him down so swiftly. It goes out in the end for a Tranmere throw on the halfway line.
Again, another example of Guiseley struggling to find a way through.
There's no rhythm, is there, at the moment from the Lions whatsoever?
To a man as well. I think Tranmere look the more physical.
Well, they do until Nicky Boschel just clatters in there and then plays it up to Liam Dickinson. His touch finds James Hurst, who in turn rather has a heavy touch, and it's cleared by Tranmere. But it'll be Guiseley throwing the halfway line.
By physical, I don't necessarily mean the style that they're playing, but in terms of just the size and the strength and power that the Tranmere players seem to have so far in the opening stage of this game, is something a little bit alarming, to be honest.
Well, there's a fluffed line again, once again from Guiseley. This time Will Hatfield and Liam Dickinson on different pages, so to speak, as Dickinson plays the ball down the channel. Well, Hatfield was never really chasing after the ball in that place, and it results in the ball rolling out of play for a Tranmere goal kick. And Guiseley have to set themselves once again.
Need to find something that little bit extra in the tank already, I think, in terms of
the way that Jake Lawler's sitting deep. I was just pointing to you, Chris, there. It almost makes us look like we've got three centre halves at the back, playing a flat back five when we're setting up from the goal kick there. Guiseley win the ball, and then it's hoofed forward by Lowe, intercepted and cleared. A firm clearance there from Iekwe, who I must admit, whose name I didn't check the pronunciation of, so I'm probably getting battered on the forums if anyone's listening to that.
feel free to correct me. Oliver Norburn now on the ball in the centre circle. We've had rather a game on organising the press box here before the game tonight. The ball played forward up towards James Hurst. James Hurst is second to the ball. Good interception, comes in and knocks it out for a Guiseley throw. It was a gun again, another good move from Guiseley actually on that right hand side. First one of the day. It's a chance here for Ryan Tulson actually to launch this one in long. There are 5 white shirts in the box for Tulson to aim for. He sends it up towards the edge of the 6-yard box. There's a little nod in and a not flick on from James Hurst, but the ball out for a goal kick.
It's a little depressing that we've played 19 minutes and that's the closest we've come to the Tranmere goal in terms of trying to get a shot off.
Altrincham 0, Gateshead 1, and now Chester 2, Aldershot 0. So a couple of other goals in the Vanarama National this evening. It's scorelines that obviously have implications for Guiseley tonight. At the moment, though, 0-0 here, and a free kick for a little nudge on Jake Lawler by Higdon. But it's hard, isn't it? When you look at the distance between the sides below in the relegation place and Guiseley, and it's not quite as comfortable as it might have seemed at the beginning of play. 4 points separate us, and you do think that there's plenty of other twists and turns to be had in the next few weeks.
Yeah, when you consider the gap that we have had at previous points in the season, 11 points at one stage, then it closed down a bit, became 8, and I say in the situation we're in now, 4 points before the start of play tonight, it's unnerving.
It is, with the games that we've got coming up. Trip to Bromley on Saturday, Grimsby next Tuesday night, Dover here again on the week on Saturday. The ball's flicked on now by Tranmere as they press again, looking to break down the Lions, and a really poor ball back there from Jake Lawler. Goes all the way behind for a corner kick to Tranmere. An absolute gift for the visitors, just as the Lions looked like they were beginning to settle a little more in the last few moments. Tranmere gifted yet another corner on the far side.
Yeah, and that almost sums up the way Guiseley's night has gone so far.
Frustration in that back line, but can Guiseley hold firm? It's a corner that's going to be taken short. Jennings actually peels away at the last moment. The ball whipped into the 6-yard box. It's headed away, but only as far as one of the many yellow shirts, McNulty on that occasion, played out to the right-hand side now with Norwood, who crosses back into the area, helped away by Hurst. Again, Tranmere winning that second ball, picked up now by Riddielf. He's got the ball ahead of him. He tries to skip past one before a clattering challenge comes in from Ryan Tulson. Fair and square knocks the ball out, but it will be a Tranmere throw midway through the Lions half on that far side. And Tranmere just taking up position with 3 yellow shirts on the edge of the area. The ball down this left-hand side, now whipped into the box, looking for the heads of Higdon, headed away by Guiseley, but only as far this time as Lee Vaughan. He plays the ball against Nicky Boschel, and now Guiseley might just counter-attack here. Nicky Boschel plays it to the right-hand side. He finds Hurst raking crossfield ball towards Lowe, who's gone into an advanced position on the left-hand side, but he has to stretch to win the header, and in doing so can only really direct it towards the Tranmere goal. Counter-attack is swiftly on from Tranmere's perspective. They come down this right-hand side with Jake Kirby. The Tranmere man gets the cross blocked, and this time it bounces off Kirby and behind for a Guiseley goal kick. And a good challenge in the end there from Danny Hall to prevent that. Very swift moving counter-attack from the visitors.
Yeah, a really good sliding challenge from Danny Hall there. Did what he had to do.
23 minutes gone, still scoreless.
The question is how.
Tranmere undoubtedly the better side in this opening spell, having more of the opportunities, but Guiseley were prepared for that. Game plan so far might be working as intended. Nicky Boschel in midfield, unable to hold on to the ball. Good working from James Hurst to win possession back for the Lions, dispossessing Meckie inside the Guiseley half.
but the Lions trying to knock the ball around, keep possession, and then play a good one down the right flank, looking for Dickinson. Hatfield wins the second phase and charges forward now towards the edge of the 18-yard box to the right-hand side. Toulson across straight into the path of Jeff Hughes. It was the poor decision from Ryan Toulson, just as Guiseley looked like they might be building up ahead of the steam of their own, and unfortunately it gives the ball back to Tranmere, who in turn are counter-attacking down this right-hand side with Kirby, and he's got the overlapping run of Lee Vaughan. Kirby might cross, he does, into the box. Dan Atkinson watches it, plucks the ball out of the air, and the danger passes on that occasion.
Yeah, well, as regards to that Guiseley attack, Ryan Toulson was looking to find Liam Dickinson, who was stood on the cross the corner on the edge of the 18-yard box. And I say it was a poor pass. It was a nice idea, but it was just a poor ball, not enough power in it to get it across to Dickinson, because Dickinson, without a doubt, would have gone for goal from that kind of range.
Ball forward from Dan Atkinson. It's flicked on by a Tranmere player, and so Guiseley have a throw midway through the Tranmere half, taken quickly into the feet of Norburn. It's now with Hurst. Hurst cuts in field, keeps the ball ticking over now, gives it to Danny Lowe. Lowe looks ahead of him. He's got Liam Dickinson on the edge of the penalty area on the right-hand side. His flick on finds Hatfield in the box. Hatfield goes to ground as if he's been nudged. Dickinson almost robs the Tranmere defence in the hesitation of their back line to clear, but in the end they hold firm, and it's played down the right-hand side, and there's a chase on here for Norwood. Norwood wins the ball. He's got two bodies in the box now to aim for, but he's been held up by Danny Lowe. Runs towards the edge of the penalty area. Lowe backs off him. He gets the ball whipped in across the face of the 6-yard box, claimed by Dan Atkinson, and Guiseley have the ball back in the goalkeeper's hands once again.
Well, if there's one man that's going to be really pleased with how he's playing tonight, it's Dan Atkinson. He's pulled off a couple of blinding saves. He's been really good at coming collecting crosses and the like, as they've been put into the Guiseley 18 and 6-yard boxes respectively, and he's done really well. He's looking full of confidence. That's what you want to see. I mean, he's not an experienced keeper by any stretch of the imagination, is he?
Norburn now picks up the ball. Hatfield has it. He's bundled over, and now there's a free kick. Tranmere are going to protest because they feel there was a foul on Norwood, who went down to the ground and had a roll around, but the referee didn't stop play. He's back on his feet and perfectly okay. Guiseley, though, have a free kick about 10 yards up from the edge of the D, and this is the Lions' best position now, perhaps to distribute a ball into the box.
I think Oliver Norburn may have a sniff at this, although it's now who's setting this up now? Liam Dickinson. It was going to be a bit of a fight, wasn't it, between Norburn and Dickinson. Nicky Boschel also stood over it. That's the problem with this case. We've got more people stood around the ball deciding who wants to take it than we have in the box or around the edge of the box.
It certainly could be Liam Dickinson territory, and it certainly could be Oliver Norburn, and it could be Nicky Boschel, so you couldn't really prejudge it. I think it's going to be Nicky Boschel. Oh, he runs over it. Liam Dickinson hits it, side foots it towards a goal, well palmed away from the goalkeeper, Scott Davies. It was dipping over the wall and downwards in towards the bottom right-hand corner as he faced the goal, but a good reaction from Scott Davies. Corner to Guiseley.
Credit where it's due. That was a really good effort from Liam Dickinson. As you say, he's forced to save from Scott Davies. First thing he's really had to do.
Corner from the right-hand side, whipped in high into the box and then headed away under pressure from Hall. Iakwe was the man who made the challenge. Guiseley win the throw, about level with the edge of the 6-yard box now on the near side to us, on the left-hand flank. And Hurst is who stands over it. I think he's going to get the ball back from Hatfield, but a good interception. And it's out for another Guiseley throw, but there's an offside flag. How frustrating is that against James Hurst from the return from the throw, and that's a very disappointing end to that move.
Yeah, absolutely. You shouldn't be offside in that situation at all. I mean, what, 4 yards in from the touchline? Very disappointing and just wasteful. And let's be honest, guys, they haven't really been in this game enough to be in a situation where they can afford to be wasteful.
Goal kick's taken. Jake Lawler heads the ball behind for for a Tranmere throw. A couple of goals to tell you about. Dover 1, Welling 1, equaliser for Dover. Welling were leading in that game. Chester 2, Aldershot 1, and Eastleigh 0, Woking 1. Bromley Halifax is still 0-0. There was a report of a goal in that game that has been corrected. 0-0 here.
Tranmere have had the better chances. Guys, have had one of their own and currently have the ball in their back line. Seem to have ridden perhaps an early storm from this visiting Tranmere side. The ball nodded out, and Guiseley will have a throw on the right flank here into the feet of Lawler. Chested down to Tilson. Infield now. Hatfield rather is dispossessed, and Tranmere can come away with it with Meckie. Adam Meckie onto the halfway line, plays it to the left-hand side where Norwood collects. He's going to cut infield, perhaps play the ball onto the overlap, and it's crossed into the box and up to the back post where Higdon's there. Great header comes in there from Danny Lowe to deny him, though. Still with Tranmere on the right-hand side, back into the box, and this time the swing of the foot is intercepted and cleared before Higdon could get onto it, and Guiseley now hoof the ball back into the Tranmere half and now need to reset themselves. Tranmere again pressing the ball on the halfway line. This time played down that left flank to Meckie. Meckie, is taken out there from a late challenge there from Tilson, and I should think Ryan Tilson will go in the book for that challenge. He was late, and referee immediately goes to his cards.
Yeah, Ryan Tilson knew exactly what he'd done there. As he was trying to do what all players do when they know they've made a bad challenge or committed a cynical foul. They try to walk away as quickly and as calmly as possible and act like nobody's seen them. Well, the referee saw him, he's pulled him back, and as you say, he's going to the book. And to be honest, quite rightly as well, he absolutely clattered him.
Can't argue with that. So free kick now for Tranmere. A few yards in from the touchline.
An hour to go, though, with a booking for a defender against a side like this.
Could be a testing time for Tilson. The ball played into the box. Helped away from that by Dickinson. Back into the edge of the 18-yard box, and there's a man free in there. It was Hughes. Guys, he managed to get the ball scrambled to get away once again. And again, only as far as the touchline where it's another throw to Tranmere.
It was a great block by Rob Atkinson because Hughes was trying to get the shot off. And Atkinson got it blocked and then got it away.
Hurst now just skipping past a couple of players with a great challenge and then is brought down by Adam Meckie. It's a good defensive work there from James Hurst, who's playing a more advanced role, but of course has played right back on a number of occasions in this game, in this Lions side rather. The ball back with the goalkeeper Dan Atkinson. He lofts it to the halfway line. Nicky Boschel wins the header, but can only hit touch.
He was caught between two illuminous yellow shirts then.
And so now it's a throw in for Tranmere. Midway through on the halfway line rather. Tranmere now looking ahead for options. The ball played infield, return for Vaughan. Plays the ball against Nicky Boschel and it ricochets back towards McNulty, who organises things at the back. Dinks it back to Scott Davis, who in turn lofts it long. Headed on by Jake Lawler, won again by Higdon. Good tackle comes in from Jake Lawler, finds Hurst. Hurst rides the challenge of Higdon and goes down the right flank. He's got Ryan Tilson ahead of him. Tilson shows a turn of pace, gets the ball into the box, up towards Dickinson. Has to be put out behind for a corner though before Dickinson gets there. And after a good move, all started from a good challenge from Jake Lawler. The Lions have yet a second corner of the game.
Yeah, it was a really good move down that right-hand side there. James Hurst just playing the ball perfectly, timing it into the path of Ryan Tilson, who was just ahead of him. He got the cross in and forced the Tranmere defender to pull it behind for, as you say, the second corner for Guiseley.
There's 5 white shirts in the area. 4 of them are on the edge of the 18-yard box. This one whipped in towards the 6-yard box and headed up into the air by, I think it was Norbert, no, it was Atkinson rather, who was the man who made connection on it. And unfortunately, he was descending when he made connection with the header. And the ball skies up in the air and over the terracing behind the goal of Scott Davis for a goal kick.
As soon as it had left his head, he knew that was a glorious chance as he dropped down onto his haunches, ruining the missed opportunity there. It was a really powerful header. He got up for it well. As you say, it was more as he was coming back down that he made the contact. Just a little bit too high. But a good chance for Guiseley. Arguably the best chance we've had in this game, I think.
Now Guiseley on the ball inside the centre circle, picked up here by Will Hatfield. Hatfield plays it back here to Norburn. Norburn digs it into Liam Dickinson. He tries to play a delicate pass to Nicky Boschel. That time it doesn't work. Guiseley pick the second phase up though with Atkinson. Oh, he's just blasted the ball against Steve Jennings, and Tranmere have possession on the halfway line and now come away over the halfway line with the ball on the left-hand side. Held up for a moment though as Lions get themselves back into some shape, but that's soon undone by Norwood on the left-hand flank. He's found some space to work into, gets the ball into the area, palmed away, and then somehow bundled into the Lions net. An own goal, I think, and in the cruelest fashion. Guys, he's been put a goal behind by Tranmere, who don't even seem to celebrate it, but very disappointing. After James Norwood found all that space, Tranmere have got the lead in this game.
Well, all the chances that Tranmere have had and have missed in this game, and that's the way they take the lead. It's a cruel blow for Guiseley. The cross came in from Norwood, who found an absolute acre of space down at left-hand side. He pulled the ball across. Dan Atkinson did well. He got his hands onto it. All he could do, though, was parry against the Guiseley man, and the ricochet took it straight into the Guiseley net. It's an unfortunate way to fall behind, with the visitors leading here at Nethermoor.
Well, that's probably a tale of things really for Guiseley this season. They've resisted with great fortitude and then been undone with a very unfortunate, very cruel sort of goal.
Yeah, I think it was Rob Atkinson as well. It was Dan Atkinson who parries the ball onto Rob Atkinson, who sees it going to his own goal. Of course, it's a second or two after that great opportunity for Rob Atkinson to open the scoring for Guiseley.
And what's worse, I've just realised my golden goal was 31 and that one was on 34. We all bought golden goal tickets before the game. There's no silver lining to be had out of this one. Just as Guiseley seem to be getting back in to some degree of parity in the balance of play, well, I think Tranmere has clearly had the better threat in this first half.
Oh,
They've now actually just got the ball again of Tranmere. Jake Kirby on the right-hand side. Lays it back here to Vaughan. They've bodies in the box for Vaughan to aim for if he can get the cross away, which he does. Up towards the back post. Headed away from Hughes. Only as far as the edge of the D, and there's a rather wild sweep at it from Steve Jennings. And the captain's shot goes well wide for a goal kick. So 1-0 now to Tranmere. A Rob Atkinson own goal on 34 minutes. The difference between the two sides. The Lions are rocked after having just begun to find their way back into the game after having resisted a number of chances to Tranmere. And in the end, it was the most unfortunate of goals, a cross into the box that Norwood had palmed away by Dan Atkinson, but straight into the body of Rob Atkinson, and somehow it squirmed into the net, and Guiseley find themselves a goal down. Up towards Dickinson, flicked on by Tranmere and out for a Guiseley throw. It's left-hand side. Oliver Norburn. Oliver Norburn on the ball, some
Where's
distance
the
from
keeper
goal
going?
with 4 or 5 players around him. Gives it to the left-hand side where Lowe gets it. Hurst chips it in and finds the net. Guiseley are level. And after going a goal behind and having been pressured for so long, the Lions have gone up the other end. A good cross from Danny Lowe at the back post. James Hurst connected with it well and managed to sneak the ball in between the outstretched arm of Scott Davis and the upright, and the Lions are back on level terms. It's Guiseley 1, Tranmere 1.
quite remarkable that. James Hurst at the back post. Acres of space again. Great cross from Danny Lowe to find him. The shot from Hurst, it didn't really look like he was going to have the power to get past Scott Davis in the Tranmere goal, but we'll take that. It's a great response from Guiseley. A really good response from the Lions, and they're back on level terms.
An absolute dream response from Guiseley, and it was a good ball in from Danny Lowe right at that back post. James Hurst, as you say, Chris, just didn't seem to get the power. Sort of side-footed it, I think, towards the goal, but it was precision stuff And a free kick's now being given against Jake Lawler, I think, on Adam Meckie. Guiseley now having to set themselves to defend once again. 2 quick-fire goals in this game. Tranmere getting the lead with Rob Atkinson's own goal. And a couple of minutes later, James Hurst has equalised with a precision effort from the edge of the area. But now the Lions set themselves to defend. A free kick this time, whipped into the box. Only as far as the edge of the area is the headed clearance. Still not clear for Guiseley. Still in the area. The Lions have to eventually hoof away. Jake Kirby it was with the effort that just sort of skied up in the area. Completely miscued it. In the end, the ball's away for a Tranmere throw on the halfway line. But the visitors now looking to press and reassert their advantage in this game. Thrown down this left flank. Headed up in the air by Rob Atkinson. Flicked on now by Norburn. Battles all over the park really tonight for Guiseley players. This one won by Nicky Boschel on this occasion. Plays the ball against Tranmere man and out for a throw. And they've got a player down at the moment. And the referee's just going to have to stop play and see what the problem is. But a great response and a couple of moments break for these 2 sets of players whilst there's a moment of injury attended. I'm not quite sure who it is for. I don't know if you...
I think it's Steve Jennings that's down, but I didn't really see anything happen before he went down, to be honest.
So a reminder of some of the scores tonight in those games in and around the one, certainly that we're following. Altrincham 0, Gateshead 1, Barrow 0, Borehamwood 0, Bromley 0, Halifax 0, Chester 4, Aldershot 1 now. Dover 1, Welling 1, Eastleigh 0, Woking 1, but Eastleigh have had a man sent off. Grimsby 1, Southport 0, Guiseley 1, Tranmere 1 here, and Torquay 0, Braintree 0. In the north, there's 4 games going on, only 2 goals rather in it, and they're both for Curzon-Ashton. Gainsborough 0, Curzon-Ashton 2, Fylde Corby, Tamworth Harrogate and Worcester Alfreton all scoreless.
Going back to the goal for Guiseley, James Hurst. All right, thinking that's his first league goal. He scored that belter in the FA Trophy at Dulwich Hamlet, but as far as I'm aware, that's his first league goal for Guiseley.
Could be good stats, that. And the ball thrown back to Guiseley.
Shoot.
For some reason, that brings the booze out for the Tranmere fans. I couldn't possibly comment. Norburn now has the ball in the halfway line. Plays it to the right-hand side where Ryan Tilson has it. Plays it up towards James Hurst. Guiseley still in possession of the ball. Played up towards Hatfield, but intercepted, and now there's a chance here for Tranmere to come away with the ball. They have it on the halfway line, and it's good work again from Meckie, who plays the ball out to the right-hand side. Lee Vaughan now steps up, floats the ball towards the back post. This one's going to go across and away. Ryan Tilson, not very assertive with the ball in the first instance, has to chase after it to keep it in play after getting a touch on it, and then lofts it up to the halfway line. Nicky Boschel robs possession for Guiseley from Vaughan and plays it into James Hurst, the goal scorer for Guiseley. He's running down the right-hand side under pressure. Wow. And surely he's fouled. Yes, referee hesitates for a moment, but...
the most blatant free kick you'll ever see.
It was a decent challenge if you're on the rugby field, but he just seemed to come together, he and Steve Jennings, and Jennings sort of pulled him over.
I can't believe some of the Tranmere fans are disputing that. I use the term disputing lightly, by the way.
And guys have a free kick. This is a decent position. It's midway through the Tranmere half. It's out to the right-hand side, a few yards in from the touchline. So it's an in-swinger now, or a ball to be floated in towards the edge of the penalty area. Nicky Boschel stands over it. Guiseley have 5 on the edge of that 18-yard box. This one comes in towards the area. It's headed up in the air, still not clear. Jake Lawler goes looking for it. McNulty gets a head on it. Uncertain moments though for Tranmere. Norburn on the edge of the D, takes a shot, can't get enough of his foot over the ball, and it floats over and behind for a goal kick.
I was just waiting for that ball to drop to Oliver Norburn because he kept getting in and around the area it was going to drop, and he was waiting for it. Eventually it did fall for him, and he knew exactly what he was going to try in that situation. As I say, unfortunate that it just didn't dip as much as he would have hoped. But that is one of the things that I do like from set pieces for Guiseley now, is that Oliver Norburn, you're never going to see him in the box. He's always been lurking just outside, looking to pick up the pieces and get the shots off from a bit of distance that may either go straight in, as we know he can hit them, or from a couple of deflections and that kind of thing.
Ryan Tilson's just taken a bit of a clattering there. As I think it was, I'm not quite sure who it was. It was clattering into. I think it was Mekki chasing after the ball. It's a free kick anyway for Guiseley in the back line. It's sent forward and nodded on towards Liam Dickinson, but he was never really going to be able to get on the end of that one, and it rolls out of play for a goal kick to Tranmere. They've certainly come in their number this evening, getting behind their side very vocally. This is their first trip to Nethermoor. I sort of thought this might feel a bit like an FA Cup third round for them, or a first round rather, because it has more of that kind of mismatch feel, I'm sure, for the two sides and their status. But of course now we're at our peak. They are probably at their nadir, and we are battling in the same division. And currently still one each this evening, after Guiseley went behind to a Rob Atkinson own goal. James Hurst getting the lines back on parity 3 minutes later, and the home side have a free kick now with Nicky Boschel even playing it square and into the feet of Norburn. Guys, he's not really shown much ambition. They had players forward, but Norburn was prevented from going forward, and so it goes all the way back to Dan Atkinson. Great frustration amongst the home fans here. Danny Hall under pressure plays it forward, and guys have been masters of their own undoing there in that instance. A ball in towards the edge of the 18-yard box, picked up here by Norwood, goes round the goalkeeper. Great recovery from Dan Atkinson just on the stroke of half-time. Guiseley, having had a free kick to attack, almost turned that into a goal against, and James Norwood managed to get past the goalkeeper. Dan Atkinson forcing him out wide, and then when Norwood tried to squeeze the ball in towards the goal, Atkinson was there to palm it behind for a corner.
All in all, though, poor play from the Lions. As you say, the masters of their own downfall in that situation.
Corner on this near side, Tranmere will take. Mark Bowell certainly wanted his side not to concede now. And in the end, there's a free kick that I think has been given for a tug on Danny Hall's shirt at the back post, and Guiseley have a free kick or a goal kick. I'm not quite sure which the referee has opted for there, but 2 minutes of stoppage to be played. We have a minute gone. We've got a minute to go before the break. Flicked on now by James Hurst. Flicked on towards Liam Dickinson, helped away, and picked up now by Michael Higdon. He's now seen the ball played up towards Norwood, but a good recovery comes in there from Danny Hall. Helped away, but straight by Dan Atkinson into the feet of Mekki. Mekki couldn't control because of the pace of the ball at him. Guys, he managed to do enough to recover the possession with Jake Lawler, but living on their nerves there. Danny Lowe now urged to go forward by the home side, but few options ahead of him. Gives it to Norburn. Norburn plays a attempted a crossfield pass that only really picks out the Tranmere defence, and now Guiseley have to defend one more attack as the visitors step forward with pace down this right hand side. Picked up now by Steve Jennings, out to the right flank. Mekki in towards Vaughan, but a good interception comes in from Lowe. He gets the ball up to the halfway line. McNulty and Dickinson doing battle. Dickinson chases the ball that is sent all the way back to the goalkeeper, and at half time whistle goes, and it's been a interesting first 45 minutes, one that Tranmere pressed and harried Guiseley with great effect in the opening sort of 20-25 minutes. They couldn't make the breakthrough. A couple of good saves from Dan Atkinson, perhaps some wasteful chance taking from the Tranmere frontman, but in the end it was a own goal. Rob Atkinson, who had a wicked deflection put into the back of his net after a good save from Dan Atkinson, but it only lasted a few moments after a cross from Danny Lowe picked out James Hurst at the edge of the area. He didn't seem to connect with pace, but he certainly connected with precision, and the ball squeezed in between the goalkeeper and the upright and into the back of the net, and that's how it stays as we go into the break here. Guiseley 1, Tranmere 1.
But I think your choice of the word interesting sums it up quite nicely. It's been a bit of a half of two halves, really, hasn't it? That first 20 minutes or so, 25 minutes, we just did not get going, and let's be honest, we were pretty poor overall in that opening 25 minutes or so. And then all of a sudden a game kind of broke out to a degree, where we conceded, We got ourselves back on level terms pretty quickly, though, and I say it was a nice finish from James Hurst. I expected more power from it. He went with the side foot, found the accuracy, picked out that corner really well. From then on, both sides have had the half chances, but neither side has been able to take them. I think at the break, 1-1, I think Mark Bauer will be the happier of the two managers. Dave Kendrick has joined me. Your thoughts on that first half, Dave?
I think saying Mark Bauer will be the happier of the two managers might be understating it slightly, Chris. I think he'll be doing a merry jig on his way to the dressing room. It was a very tough start, wasn't it? It was what we expected, though, wasn't it? I mean, Tranmere are a good side. We didn't get much time to talk about them in the build-up, but they're a really good side. They're pacey. They move the ball around well.
I feel like you're understating things now. They're a really good side. For this level, they are.
They are, yeah, but they're probably one of the best sides that have visited Nethermoor this year.
They'll be gutted.
Defending well, they'll be annoyed, they'll be frustrated to have had the chances that they've had in that first half, to have the opportunities they've had, to have been denied twice by two, frankly, brilliant saves by Dan Atkinson, to not be more than one goal in front by the time Guiseley scored. They'll be very frustrated indeed. But we have to credit the Lions for holding out. Dan Atkinson's actually been a complete revelation today. He was tremendously unlucky with the goal. I've seen one Twitter account give it to Dan Atkinson, and one give it to, and a couple more give it to Rob Atkinson. But I think you can safely say Atkinson OG.
That's some,
either way.
Don't bother with that first initial. Either way,
but it was a tremendously unlucky way to concede. I mean, for the chances that Tranmere had carved out that they should have scored, to score from sort of
it was
a cross fizzed in and not quite dealt with and banged around and
at times
messy.
This season that was purely typical Guiseley, wasn't it? They can defend and they can have a couple of really good saves, and then there can be chances that frankly the Tranmere should have taken, and you think, oh, we're going to get away with this, and then that happens.
But what's good and where there's hope is that in the sort of 5 minutes leading up to that own goal, is Guiseley were getting back into that game, were starting to get the ball on the ground, were starting to find each other a little bit better, and the own goal didn't really knock them back too much.
No, there's times, there's been games this season when we've gone behind and it's hit them.
And heads have dropped, and we've been up against it for the next 10-15 minutes, just trying to get through to half time or whatever. But they kept going tonight, and they got themselves back into it. And actually, the move that led to the goal was an excellent move, actually.
Very much so. The cross from down low was, at first, I'll be honest, it was overhit, but it turned out perfect.
Well, if you want anyone on the end of that, you want someone like James Hurst, though, don't you? He has absolute confidence in his own ability. He knows his own. Yeah, absolutely. He's got absolute confidence in his own finishing, and he did very well there. I couldn't quite see from the. Did it look like it was a deflected?
I don't think there was a deflection. I just think he just.
Has he just wrong-footed the keeper?
He side-footed it rather than put. I mean, in that situation when he was taking it on the bounce, I thought he's going to lash this. And he didn't. He just went with the calm, collected approach to the side foot. And if I'm completely honest, I'm not entirely sure how it did beat the keeper, but it did, and that's what counts. Something else that I noticed as well, literally a couple of seconds before the ball was played out down low, the goalkeeper, when Oliver Norburn had the ball, in 25 yards out or so, he was completely off his line, very much to his right hand side of goal. And I think if Oliver Norburn had have seen that, he'd have looked up and he'd have fancied his chances in that situation. So there's one or two moments in this game where Scott Davis in particular, he kind of just wandered off, almost like the concentration that he may have had has completely deserted him. So there's cause for
there's cause for optimism, I think, going into the second half.
But we can't afford to keep riding his luck the way we have.
Well, I was thinking towards the end of that first half that a point here actually would be great point.
Be a great point.
Be a great point to take away from this game at this point. But what Guiseley are going to have to do is play an almost perfect second half of football. Staying tight at the back, not playing themselves. A couple of times they've played themselves into some awful trouble. Dan Atkinson with a slightly misplaced clearance. Danny Lowe and Danny Hall getting a little bit mixed up there.
Right. It's is this right? I'm expecting a correction here. Half time, Chester 6, Aldershot 1. Is that half time score? I expect it will be.
Wow.
6-1 So I think Steve Burr's put a rocket up
What,
Chester.
what a night to be a Chester fan there. 6-1 at half time.
If you're an Aldershot fan, you're in the car and you're going home, aren't you?
Well, if you're an Aldershot fan, you're expecting your team to score 6 goals in the second half and win 7-6, aren't you?
No.
No, maybe not.
No.
Maybe not.
Not the way that season
Maybe it might
panned
be
out.
time to beat the traffic, that one. Sorry about that, Aldershot. Oh, dear.
6-1.
6-1, though. Blimey. That rustling you can hear in the background is the chocolate hobnobs. Colin's taking them around the press box. As always, we look after our guests here. It's cups of tea and
Try
chocolate
his
hobnobs.
best.
Welcome to Yorkshire.
Hospitality, we're good at it. Honestly.
I'm just going to run through...
Go on.
sorry, what were we going to say?
I had a topic of conversation.
Go on.
Liam Dickinson.
Mm-hmm.
Discuss his impact in this game so far.
For large chunks of the game and for the first 30 minutes, he was
A bit invisible.
He was a bit invisible, but it's not his fault.
No.
And he's running and he's making runs and causing problems. And I do wonder if there's been some sort of edict around the referees.
This is just teasing. Colin's offering us biscuits. Microphone in one hand, brew in the other. What am I supposed
haven't
to
got
do?
enough hands. No, to get back to my point, I do wonder if there's been some sort of edict among referees. It's not a free kick if Liam Dickinson's on the receiving end of it. Call me paranoid if you like, Chris, but that's what it looks like to me.
The reason I was going to come to that was because Steve McNulty is somebody that we can exploit pace-wise.
He's not the quickest.
I'll be honest, right? I googled him. I
Googled him?
remember seeing him
Oh, well, it
at
must be true.
Tranmere. I googled him just to find out how old he is. I thought he was about 8 years older than he actually is. I'm not.
Some men go prematurely grey, Chris. That happens.
That's
It's not his
exactly what's
fault.
happened with Steve McNulty. He's also got. I'm better.
Are you gonna are the words "big unit" marching with undue confidence towards the general direction of this conversation?
Perhaps, but
Is
not
he
in
a big
height.
unit?
Not in height.
He is a sturdy human, and
All I'm
and that
saying
makes it. And
is
actually,
Anthony
what I'll say
Dudley
about him is he's been
oh.
ordering that defence
Yeah.
about.
To be fair, he has got the positional sense and the all-round organisational sense that you'd expect from a 32-year-old centre
So
half.
you don't always need that pace. You don't always need that physical
But
height.
I do think in this situation, the pace of someone like Adam Boyce, or in particularly Anthony Dudley, could seriously give him the runaround because he has no pace.
As you say, 32
it may
minutes
as well
left.
be one of those bricks you referred to earlier.
But this is what we said in the first half. In the build-up to the first half, 20 minutes left, maybe. There's OJ sat there.
I
Get
don't-
that bubble wrap off him.
He's not going to have the
20
legs.
minutes against Steve McNulty.
Nah,
He's already been
Dudley.
playing 70 minutes.
Dudley, the future. In terms of the pace, don't get me wrong, I think there's a great place for Ollie Johnson on this left-hand side in this game because that Nicky Boschel, he's drifted in and out of it a bit. I think Ollie Johnson, there's a chance if you can get him on that left-hand side, fair enough. But I'm not convinced. Don't worry, I'm watching you brew, Dave. I'm not convinced that Ollie Johnson through the middle up against the centre half who's going to want to take him out is a good idea in this situation.
I'm just greedy. I just want to see OJ back on the pitch. I'm so excited.
Sorry, you were going to go on to something.
Yes, I'm
before I
going
started
to
talking
just have
about
a.
Steve McNulty's
We'd better have a quick go through. We've mentioned the Chester scoreline. That's 6-1. That's extraordinary.
When did the goals
that
occur?
is 4
James
goals.
Alabi's got 4 of them.
4 goals from James Alabi and 2 from Hughes. And wow, 6-1.
So,
the side of a
your
Lafayette.
half-time scores, Dave.
So half-time scores going through. We'll start in the National League, the best league, the proper league. Altrincham are 1-0 down at home to Gateshead. Barrow 0, Borehamwood 0, Bromley 0, Halifax 0, Chester 6, Aldershot 1, can't say it enough. Dover 1, Welling 1. Eastleigh, who are down to 10 men, are also trailing at home to Woking. Grimsby are 1 up at home to Southport. Guiseley 1, Tranmere 1, of course, here. And Torquay 0, Braintree 0.
Whilst you're here,
Yep.
click on live standings. Let's tempt that bit of fate.
Well, I don't really want to tempt the fate. At the moment, it looks tight. It was tight before, and it's tight now. And I think that's where we'll leave it.
You're really superstitious all of a sudden, aren't
we'll
you?
talk about the standings when at the end of the game when it's applicable. Going down to the Vanarama National League North, Fylde are 1-0 up on Corby, Gainsborough 0, Curzon Ashton 2, Tamworth 0, Harrogate 0, and Worcester 0, Alfreton 0.
Not blessed for goals
Not a huge
in the
goal
National North,
night.
unless you're at Chester, unless you're at the Diva.
Maybe they're all at the Diva Stadium tonight. Yeah, both Champions League games 0-0 as well. How about that? Bradford are playing tonight. They're at
Accrington
home.
3-0 down.
Accrington are 3-0 down at home to Portsmouth. Bristol Rovers 2, Wimbledon 0, Dagenham 0, Carlisle 0, Newport 0, Barnet 2.
What the
As I
Bantams
say,
doing?
Bradford are at home to Burton Albion. They're 2-0 up there.
It's a really good result.
That
last
would be a
Thursday for
magnificent
Bradford.
win for Bradford City. That Scunthorpe are 1-0 up at home to Doncaster, and it's Shrewsbury 2, Coventry 1. Going up into the Championship, looks like a full programme there. Blackburn 2, Birmingham 0, Cardiff 0, Leeds United 1, Charlton 0, Milton Keynes 0, Fulham 2, Burnley 1, Huddersfield 0, Reading 0, Nottingham Forest 1, Preston North End 0, QPR 1, Derby 0, Rotherham 0, Middlesbrough 0, Wolves 0, Bristol City. It's not blessed for goals, is it? Bolton Wanderers 0, Ipswich Town 1, and Brighton 0. Sheffield Wednesday, everybody, 0.
Now we've been through the scores.
Yep.
I can see you're still a bit cloudy-eyed. Would you like to talk about Ollie Johnson?
I think we've said
He's out there.
He's been out. He's out there
To
keeping
be fair,
warm.
That's a great sight.
It's just a great sight to see him. It's a great sight that he's been named on the bench. If and when he makes an appearance at Nethermoor, he'll be warmly welcomed back. For his contributions last season were brilliant. And
It's
you know,
just
I
staggering.
still think he could be a match winner at some point this season.
It's just staggering to think the last time we saw Ollie Johnson was the playoff final.
Was the glorious afternoon
going
in
off
Chorley.
Ill, injured. He had a mixed bag for the opening 25 minutes. To be fair, Guiseley on that occasion, at that point, were pretty poor. He goes off. We think, oh well. And then look where we are.
And then
Almost
a year
surely
later.
aren't playing tonight, are we? So we can't do that. We could have been us.
It could have been us.
Well,
It could
Tranmere are
have
coming
been us.
back out.
Well, here come the teams. Tranmere.
And I need to find a
I
biscuit.
suspect a flea in their ear after that first half performance, but they arguably should have put the Lions away by now. But Nethermoor is still a fortress, and Guiseley are still in this game. And now what we are expecting is 45 minutes of perfect football from Guiseley, who are not here,
That's
who are still in the dressing room. So it might be optimistic to you, Chris, but I have faith.
we I don't know what do we need to do.
Look, 25 minutes. Let's be honest here. 25 minutes gone. We should have been 3-0 down.
Yeah.
But for 2 brilliant saves from Dan Atkinson and a bit of luck, we should have been 3-0 down. We're not. We're still in this game. Not only did we go 1-0 down to a tremendously unlucky goal, we got ourselves back in it. It's still 1-1. All to play for in this second half. I will leave you in the competent hands of Chris Bell. And first, Colin Robertson.
Thank you, Dave. Before we go any further, I've just got to delegate a job to Dave because the attendance tonight is at 1,147 and 541 coming from Tranmere.
That's fantastic. Excuse me, I'm finally getting around to that biscuit that you teased me with earlier. That was brilliant. 541 on a Tuesday night.
Oh, you've got to give them great credit. But also, you know what? Guiseley public still getting right behind this club. There's been some discussions this week about the various merits of different teams and their ability to attract and retain fans. And I have to say, steadily away, attendances have been growing here at Guiseley as we've been building up a solid and good fan base. We're never going to get the biggest crowds, but we are certainly beginning to appeal to the local public, and tonight could go a long way towards enhancing that appeal, with us currently 1-1 against Tranmere Rovers, a fixture that would seem unimaginable once, but Guiseley now taking on the Tranmere side that took the lead earlier on this game and winning an early free kick on the edge of the 18-yard box as James Hurst is pulled back, and a long ball forward there from Ryan Tilson found Hurst. He was tugged back, and this one literally about a foot from the edge of the 18-yard box. Guiseley now with a chance to have a go at goal again early on in this game, second half rather.
Well, Liam Dickinson, unsurprisingly, eyeing this one up. Nicky Bosch was there as well. Oliver Norburn is a few steps to the left-hand side, looking hopeful, as if he was to receive a layoff. There was a massive gap between the wall and the clump of players to the left of the penalty area.
I was surprised if it's Nicky Boschel with the left foot to get it over that wall and dink it down. It's a 4-man wall. It's about a yard on the right-hand side of the area. It does go to Nicky Boschel, but it takes a touch from Liam Dickinson as he runs over it. It makes Nicky Boschel hesitate. It's a poor free kick. It's blasted away, and now Tranmere on the counter-attack can bring the ball forward, and it's eventually helped away well by Will Hatfield. But again, as an attacking move, that one wasn't blessed with much charm. On the right-hand side now, Tranmere get the ball into the box. Dan Atkinson goes up, headed away by Rob Atkinson. Guiseley now having to dig deep after that early opportunity, rather somewhat spurned by the Lions. And now a throw in for Guiseley in right back position.
It was wasted completely, wasn't it? The free kick from Guiseley. Very, very disappointing. As I said, there was a slight touch from Liam Dickinson that I don't think he meant to touch the ball at all. He was just looking to run over it. And that completely put off Nicky Boschel. Interesting, before you mentioned then about, how this is a fixture that was probably unimaginable only a few years ago. I was speaking to one of the colleagues from Tranmere, and he said that he had a holiday to Matlock in 2007-2008.
And we just wait for the ball to come back in. It's a throw in for Ryan Toulson. Go on, Chris. Sorry, you were slightly interrupted as the ball just came into the crowd here.
As I say, one of the colleagues from Tranmere was saying, "Oh!"
And there was a moment there, just on the pass back now. But here come Tranmere on the counter-attack down the left-hand side. We'll have to go back through that in a moment. Norwood takes a shot from distance. It's taken a deflection off Will Hatfield, and a corner has been given to Tranmere. And Guiseley are protesting about that. They felt that Norwood has just blasted the ball wide. A couple of moments earlier, a pass back to the goalkeeper, and the referee hasn't given anything here. So the Lions actually feeling a little bit hard done to here for a moment as Tranmere press. They have a corner on this near side. Stick with it, and then we'll get the views. Chris, you were looking straight at it at that moment. I wasn't. The ball will come in from this left-hand side. Whipped in towards the edge of the 18-yard box, 6-yard box. Helped away. I think the referee has spotted an infringement and given Guiseley a free kick. He has indeed, and the danger passes. Now, I just wonder whether he's even things up from the original corner. But to Chris, just a few things happened there. We were caught in the headlights ourselves as commentary. Just explain what happened there.
Well, the first thing to start with was the pass back from, I think it was the number 3, Liam Rydhall for Tranmere, who sent the ball back to Scott Davis, fairly close. Davis lost his footing, slipped, seemed to strike one of his hands as he was putting his hand down to stop him from falling flat on his face, basically. It perhaps would have been harsh given the circumstances. However, letter of the law and all that, the pass back touched his hand. Whilst Guiseley are appealing for that, down the other end, the corner resulting from Norwood's shot, I don't think the referee was taking any chances there of giving that, to be honest, because the Tranmere players were certainly appealing for what they seemed to think was a handball in there. And the referee wasn't giving it.
Right, Hull plays the ball into the area. It's then chipped in towards the penalty spot, and there's 2 players go to the ground. Higdon is one of them.
Yeah, there's 4 words that certainly seem to have haunted Guiseley recently. It's letter of the law.
Yes.
Going back to what I was saying before, unless this develops into a great attack, one of the guys from Tranmere was saying that in 2007-2008 season, he had a holiday to Matlock in Derbyshire, and whilst he was there, took in a Guiseley game, which Guiseley beat Matlock Town 3-1. We were trying to work out what league that would have been in at the time. Would am I right in thinking Evo Prem?
The old Unibond days. The ball forward from Guiseley was a lot of sort of tippy-tappy football, but not going anywhere. Jake Lawler in the end puts his foot through it to play down the right channel, and it goes out for a goal kick. But yeah, probably in the old Evo, what is now the Evo stick, would have been the Unibond in those days, and probably either when we were in I would say probably in the top division.
I mean, this is the thing.
About 2006 maybe.
Because he was asking about how quickly the rise has come for Guiseley. When you think 07-08, Evo Stick Prem, to where we are now, in league, in terms of the tiers, it's not that far. However,
it's a
the
hard
bigger
task,
picture,
isn't it? Very hard task to achieve. Many have tried and failed. Guiseley are on the ball at the moment anyway, in left back position, and it's played forward by Lowe. Lowe goes up towards Dickinson. Dickinson nods it down, up in the air. Now a chase on for James Hurst keeps the ball in play on the right-hand side. Can he get the cross? He does, in towards the back post, but it's above Nicky Boschel, who is the man nearest to it, and behind, or out rather, for a throw-in for Tranmere in right-back position. And there's McNulty down. He's going to need a little bit of attention. Also, just want to give a big hello, Bob Jeffrey, who I hope has finally got his Wi-Fi sorted and listening tonight. And hope you're enjoying things. Sorry, enjoying the scoreline. It's been a bit tense, I would have to say, over the course of the game so far. But Guiseley managed to get themselves back on level terms, always a good thing. And I was hearing that Bob might be coming down to the ground tomorrow to have a look around, see how things are. So best wishes of all of us here. Sorry that we're having to entertain you in the loosest sense of the word with this.
This is what counts for entertainment.
I demand my licence fee back. Oh, fortunately for a few. But couple of goals now. Let's just get you up. Well, McNulty's still getting some treatment on the edge of the D. It doesn't look too serious, but he is...
I think they might be making a change.
Potentially, yeah. Potentially, you're right. There is going to be some action on the bench. There was a couple of goals actually in the Altrincham-Gateshead game. Altrincham got themselves back on level terms, but Gateshead now back in front 2-1 there. So some goals being shared in that match. Dover now, by the looks of it, have just gone 2-1 up against Welling as well. And McNulty on his feet, very awkwardly, moving off the field. Vastly experienced defender Steve McNulty, 32. He's possibly going to be swapped. I'm not quite sure whether that is the case. Started his career at Liverpool. He's played for a number of non-league sides as well. Barrow, Berscoe, and of course has really brought some steel to the Tranmere backline. He's just been looked at, I think, by the physio on the sidelines before they decide whether to make the change. Guiseley, meanwhile, have the ball back in play, and McNulty does return. So it's as you were. The ball with Tranmere on the halfway line with a throw. And that throw sent into Guiseley's half and headed away by Nicky Boschel before being returned towards the edge of the 18-yard box. A flag is up. Guiseley get the free kick. Frustrating a few home fans because the Lions had the ball and claims of shall we not be allowed to play on went out. But as it is, Guiseley have the ball.
Still can't get my head around Chester being 6-1 up at half time. What a performance that must be from Steve Bird's side.
So Guiseley on the ball in the back line. Rob Atkinson stepping forward. Held the page. It's 7-1 to Chester now. And it's up towards Liam Dickinson, who is indeed pushed in the back. And Guiseley have won a free kick. Again on the left-hand side of the penalty area, up about 10 yards from the angle of the penalty area on that left side. An opportunity again for the home side to get the ball into the box. Hopefully we can do a little better than we did in that first free kick of this second 45. Liam Dickinson will stand over it. He hit the target with an effort from distance in the first half, one that was forced wide by Scott Davies.
This is a long way out.
And Nicky Boschel and Dickinson stand over this. Tranmere have a three-man wall on the edge of the penalty area. It's probably about 10 yards out, isn't it, from the edge of the penalty yard area there.
And it's to the left of goal.
It's a good distance. 3 men on the edge of the 18-yard box that the Lions will be hoping to get on the end of the ball, including Jake Lawler and Rob Atkinson. Dickinson hits it straight into the midriff of the wall. He gets the ball straight back and returns it to Danny Lowe, who ships the ball into the box. It takes a deflection and a clearance from Rydolph, and it's out for a Guiseley throw on the right-hand side.
Wicked ball in from Danny Lowe. Got a lot of pace onto it. Caused 1 or 2 problems in that Tranmere Rovers defence.
Throw from this right flank now. Ryan Toulson can launch this one in. One of the things he brings to the game is this long throw ability. Head away, picked up by Jake Lawler, sent back in towards Toulson. He can cross, drills it into the edge of the 6-yard box, and Liam Dickinson couldn't quite make the connection onto it to drive it onto target, and Tranmere managed to scramble the ball clear. Hurst wins the ball back for Guiseley, gives it to Toulson, now to the right hand side. Hurst gets the ball into the area, finds Boschel, Nicky Boschel on the edge of the area, takes a deflection, hits the crossbar, and then put behind for a corner, and a great opportunity there built up for Guiseley. Nicky Boschel with a strike, took a wicked deflection, went towards the goal, looked like it was going in, and it's gone behind for a corner, and Guiseley have taken it quickly and then actually just scooped it back to the goalkeeper. And it was a great opportunity for the Lions to take the lead here this evening.
Unbelievable. How's your luck? Currently, we seem to have run out at the moment with this situation. I mean, a really good move. The ball came to Nicky Boschel, who was definitely always going to go for goal. And it looked to be curling towards that bottom corner before it took a massive, massive deflection of Steve McNulty. Up into the air. You thought it's going in, and it hits the underside of the crossbar. And he's then cleared away. Unbelievable.
The ball goes forward from Tranmere, and there's a offside flag against Michael Higdon.
All that luck that went in our favour in the first half with the missed chances from Tranmere disappeared very quickly there to no luck whatsoever. And that chance as Tranmere make their first change of the game.
Yeah, it is Steve McNulty who's coming off. The centre half has not recovered from that problem he had a few moments ago, and so Martin Riley is the man to replace him. Guiseley are back underway though. The ball forward.
Riley on, McNulty off.
And Guiseley concede possession. Tranmere win it, and it's played forward by Hughes, intercepted by Toulson, but Rob now here by Tranmere, the ball into the box, and it's a poor delivery before drilled in by Jake Kirby on the edge of the 18-yard box, and Guiseley have been undone, and again it's a defensive slip that's led to the build-up. And on that occasion, Guiseley looked like they'd managed to clear the lines, but the ball bounced back to Jake Kirby, who drills it home, and moments after the Lions might have taken the lead themselves, it's now Guiseley 1, Tranmere 2.
But all that luck has completely evaded the Lions now as the ball drops so kindly into the path of Jake Kirby. Take nothing away from the finish. A wonderful finish it was from the Tranmere man. But Guiseley, as you say, after being so close to going ahead after hitting the crossbar, now find themselves behind and having all to do to get back on level terms yet again.
Well, we are heading into the squeaky bum time end of the season. Such moments could be so important for both these sets of fans, both these teams. And now Guiseley picked the ball up here with Jake Lawler on the left-hand side. The Lions have played better in the second half than they were in the first. Now they find Hurst. Hurst on the edge of the area, drills one in. It's into the back of the net. James Hurst has done it again. Straight after going a goal behind, it's Hurst with a thunderbolt from the edge of the area. Drilled in, the goalkeeper, Scott Davies, couldn't cope with it. And it's now Guiseley 2, Tranmere 2.
Well, Gary Bradbin will be absolutely furious with his goalkeeper there, because Scott Davies has not dealt with that at all. Great attempt from James Hurst. Confident from his earlier goal. He went for goal again, put it across goal, and Scott Davies, he seemed to get something on it, but it wasn't enough to keep it out. And again, a very quick reply from the Lions. Guiseley 2-2.
Well, game's back on. This one has really burst into life in this second half. We're heading towards the hour mark now. Guiseley twice trailed in this match, and twice James Hurst has produced something special to get the Lions back on terms. And now Higdon has gone down. A big shout for a penalty from the visitors under the challenge, and the referee says no. And then a weird ball there from Danny Lowe, a crossfield ball, concedes possession back to Tranmere. Inexplicable from Danny Lowe, and he's given a throw, and it's taken quickly here. Kirby gives the ball here to Rydolph, who gets the ball across towards the edge of the 6-yard box, helped away by Guiseley, picked up by Higdon on the edge of the area. Guiseley now having to dig deep after creating the opportunity for Tranmere themselves. The ball played into the box, headed away at the edge of the area. Hurst chips the ball forward with a good volley, finds Dickinson. Dickinson under pressure, keeps hold of the ball, then loses out. Guiseley win the ball back here with Toulson. He does the only thing he can, which is just to poke the ball into the Tranmere half, and the Lions just need to regain a little composure on the ball. Tranmere now have the ball on the right-hand side as they seek to reassert their presence in this game. Good challenge comes in from Danny Hall to win the ball back for the Lions. Picked up now by Dickinson, finds Nicky Boschel. Nicky Boschel under pressure from the Tranmere captain Jennings. Gives it to the Lions captain Danny Lowe. Danny Lowe plays it short. Norburn.
In acres here.
And as Chris Bell says, Trent Toulson stood on the near touchline to us. But guys, you're just playing the sensible ball, and it's keeping hold of possession for the moment for Guiseley. And after a couple of moments of loose play,
that's not a free kick.
Guiseley now win a free kick because James Hurst is bundled into by Hughes, and the referee seemed to give the Lions the benefit of the doubt.
He's back on his feet at least.
Guiseley with a free kick.
It's been a weird game, hasn't it?
It's opening up very much so here. Norburn will take the free kick, floats this one in towards the edge of the 18-yard box. Difficult one for Liam Dickinson to claim. He gets ahead on the ball. Hurst picks it up and gives it to Dickinson, but he's firmly and robustly challenged. Lions battling hard to win the ball back. They do. And now it's here with Norburn out to the right-hand side, picked up by Toulson. Toulson back to Norburn. Norburn square, gives it to Jake Lawler. Lawler across the halfway line, finds Danny Lowe up towards Liam Dickinson. Guys, he win it for a moment there with Will Hatfield, bustling his way back in towards the Tranmere goal as they pass it back to the keeper, who eventually manages to clear under pressure from Hatfield, and only out for a Guiseley throw on the halfway line. Better from the Lions.
We've got just short of another half an hour of this, Cole. Can you take it?
It's a good game now. The second half has certainly exploded into life. Tranmere looking dangerous. A clip from Hatfield takes down the Tranmere man Jeff Hughes. Referee gives a free kick. Guiseley get back into shape. I think Hatfield needed to bring him down there because Hughes had just got a couple of yards on him, and an attack was building up. The Lions now need to set themselves.
That's been taken quickly.
It's gone down this right-hand side, and Vaughan trying to carve out an angle for a cross is held up by Danny Lowe, but it's at the expense of a throw just up from the corner flag, a yard or so. This one will be thrown back into play towards the penalty area as long as possible from that right-hand side in towards Mekki. Mekki takes it down, plays it back. Good challenge comes in from, I think it's Hurst on that left-hand side. He gets enough of a deflection off a Tranmere man to give Guiseley the throw in left-back position as well.
He did well there, James Hurst. It's fair to say he's having a good game. On a brace so far.
When was the last time you saw a Guiseley man score a hat-trick?
My instinctive thought is James Walshaw.
Yeah, it's been a long time, hasn't it? Hurst is on one at the moment, but Tranmere have the ball and look a dangerous prospect for the moment until a very poor one from Jake Kirby gives the ball straight to Danny Lowe. Danny Lowe plays it up here to Liam Dickinson. He spins on the ball, slips, goes to ground, claims a free kick, but it's a throw in to Tranmere. Tamworth 1, Harrogate Town 0 in the National North. That's a scoreline that won't please Simon Weaver at all because they're pressing hard for the title in that division. Solihull a good number of points ahead. This throw is being given to Guiseley just inside their own half, and it will be taken by Danny Lowe.
Interestingly, the app that we use to keeping score and everything has given that first goal to Liam Dickinson.
Dickinson?
I'm certain it was James Hurst. I reckon I've just seen the number 6 on the back of the shirt and got the wrong first digit.
Surely not. There's a strange sort of moment here. Dan Atkinson's not recovering the ball particularly quickly. I don't think guys here are actually holding up play or time wasting, are we? I think we're just, for some reason, not quite sure who's recovering the ball. I think we think...
Let's not get into this again.
You feel that there's a 3 points in it for one of these two sides at the moment. 2-2 it is. If you're just joining us, 2 goals from James Hurst. That's what we've got down anyway. And twice Tranmere have less, and twice the Lions have got back onto level terms within a few minutes. Tranmere with a throw. Scrappy passage of play this. Played down the right-hand side. Higdon wins the header. Guiseley win it back. Up in the air it goes once again. And there's a battle on here for Dickinson to win the ball. He wins the nod. Flicks it on towards James Hurst, and it's knocked out of play once again for a throw. Again thrown in by Tranmere. And headed up in the air, James Hurst. Free kick this time given against Hatfield, who is adjudged to have backed into his man. And he wasn't warmly received for that by Steve Jennings.
I don't want to excite Dave Kendry, but Ollie Johnson's warming up.
Well, that would be quite something. I'm not quite sure whether that would be the substitution that many of us would be imagining. The ball goes forward, headed up in the air now by Rob Atkinson. Guiseley trying to win possession back here as Tranmere press. Picked up by Hughes. Ball into the box, up towards the back post towards Higdon. Under the challenge of Danny Lowe, he can't win the header, and the ball rolls over his head and out for a Guiseley throw in left back position. He's warming up with some purpose, and there seems to be a little action in that Guiseley bench down there for a change.
Yeah, Dave's advice to him was do it gently. Gently, Ollie. Don't strain yourself in this warm-up.
Chester 7, Aldershot 2.
Wow.
That's something else, isn't it? The ball's up to the halfway line, and it's played long. Helped away
The comeback's on
by
for
Hall,
Aldershot.
and now it's out for a Tranmere throw on this right-hand side. Guiseley have to set themselves again for this long throw into the box. It actually goes short, and it's taken on that right flank into the box, and on the edge of the 18-yard box there's a little back heel from Meckie that's way too ambitious and goes behind for a goal kick.
Well, it does look like we are going to get a change for Guiseley. I don't think it's Ollie Johnson just yet.
The one I would imagine is Gavin Rothery. I thought he would probably make his entrance, and I would see Will Hatfield coming off, but I can't see the board.
But I'm fairly sure that
would be
is
my
Rothery.
call. That would be my call, for what it's worth. It's worth very little, by the way. The ball's just been played back to the goalkeeper, Scott Davies. His clearance nodded out by Danny Lowe. Perhaps we'll see the change. It is Gavin Rothery, isn't it? And the man coming off actually is Norburn. So Oliver Norburn off and Gavin Rothery on. By the way, I think it's good option. Gavin Rothery's been having a tremendous season this year, and certainly has given us some real attacking creative midfield play.
I sign more at the fact it's Norburn coming off, though. Like you, I was expecting probably more than likely Will Hatfield. Norburn, for me, is having the better game of the two. And as we say, he's always got that option of having an effort from a bit of distance or whatever, which we may need at some stage in this game.
Tranmere now have the ball on the right-hand side. Meckie having a run at the Lions' defence. Good challenge comes in from, I think it was Hurst actually, stepping up on the... Oh, Danny Lowe, rather, on the left-hand side. Picked up now as Tranmere come forward again with Jennings. Good firm clearance. And as a chase on for Liam Dickinson with the goalkeeper. He makes a big shape, forces the goalkeeper into a rather hurried clearance with Danny Lowe returning the ball immediately back to Tranmere with a firm volley.
What we got? 20 minutes to go.
Yeah, exactly 20 by my watch. Still 2-2 if you're just joining us. Guiseley twice getting back onto level terms in this game. And have grown a bit more into the match in the second half after some tremendous opening pressure. Hurst now on the ball, flick towards Rothery. Doesn't quite work on this occasion. Nicky Boschel goes in for the challenge. Tranmere clear. The ball nodded away, but only as far as Kirby, the man who got the second goal for Tranmere. Great challenge comes in from Will Hatfield. Picked up now. Rydolph has the ball on the left flank. Can he get the cross in? He can, into the chest of Hatfield. Tilson will stop it going out for the corner. Plays it into the body of Hurst. Hurst is challenged, surely a free kick, but no. Referee doesn't give it, but Tilson tidies up and gives it to Gavin Rothery, who chips it forward towards Liam Dickinson. It wasn't a bad ball, Dickinson, though, is clattered into by Martin Riley with good defensive play from the Tranmere centre half. The substitute came on for Steve McNulty early in this second half. Jake Lawler now wins the header and takes the ball off Kirby, who won possession for Tranmere. And now Hurst with a loose touch of the ball is challenged. Guys, you get a throw. Still 2-2. And it's proven to be an evening of goals elsewhere. As Chester beating Aldershot 7-2. Guys, you've won a throw down this right-hand side. Hurst can take this one. Is he given a throw? Is he given a free kick, actually, Chris? I think he's given
a free kick by the looks of it.
Free kick, yeah, just a few yards from this touchline on this right-hand side. Actually thought he just off the throw.
This needs to be a good delivery from Nicky Boschel.
It's about a yard or two from the touchline on this near side, and a chance now for Guiseley to whip the ball into the box. 6 or 7 players on the edge of the area, 4 or 5 actually, exaggerate. And white shirts to aim for. This one played in towards the penalty spot, headed away. Picked up at the back post by Dickinson, overhead kick, palmed wide by the goalkeeper. Acrobatic stuff from Liam Dickinson. And the goalkeeper, Scott Davis, not taking any chances. He palms that one behind for a corner.
What a flaming effort that was. Superb effort from Liam Dickinson. He had nothing else on but to try the spectacular. Almost came off.
Corner taken, poor. Straight to the first man, and after the build-up play and the effort, the corner is very disappointing, and Guiseley now have to watch the counter-attack as Tranmere move the ball swiftly up towards Meckie. Ryan Tilson watches it well, heads it out for a throw. Partridge of the Week award, though, to you. What a flaming effort. Great use of the word flaming. And Tranmere now on the ball on the right-hand side. They're swiftly moving down that right-hand flank. They're moving infield. Guiseley in good shape, but Tranmere still have the ball. There's 3 to aim for in the box if the cross can be made, and they're looking like they're going to eventually make it into the penalty area. Guiseley still can't get the challenge in there on Hughes, and eventually the ball is put behind for a corner to Tranmere, and the visiting fans getting behind their side once again, feeling that there's a goal in the offing now. 5 yellow shirts on the edge of the 18-yard box, 2 on the edge of the 6-yard box. This one whipped in towards the penalty spot, straight at the goalkeeper. The header comes in from Kirby. Actually, it was Higdon, sorry. A firm header from about the penalty spot. But Dan Atkinson watched that one well, plucked it out of the air and rolls it into the feet of Ryan Tilson. He sends it long up towards Dickinson. Good header from Dickinson. Finds Nicky Boschel on the edge of the D. Tries to chest it down and get it under control. Can't. And it's away. And there's a chase on here for Norwood, but a flag up against the Tranmere striker. And it's a free kick to Guiseley.
That was nearly wonderful football from Guiseley. Great ball from Tilson over to Dickinson. Nodded it down very well. Unfortunately for Nicky Boschel, he was closed down fairly quickly by 2 Tranmere players.
Bromley 1, Halifax 0. We're going to Bromley on Saturday. And Chester 8, Aldershot 2.
You'd hate to be an Aldershot fan.
Long speculative one into the box from Liam Dickinson, who gets on the end of a long ball.
It's probably for the best if you let that one slide.
I didn't even recognise it. I refuse to acknowledge it. Ball's picked up now by Gavin Rothery. A little chip into the path of Hurst, who turns his man and runs down this right flank well. He's got some yards to make up, but he's got 2 in the box if he can get the cross. He does. He finds a ball right across the face of goal, but it's going to stroll all the way out and away from the Lions striker. Picked up, though, by Will Hatfield.
It was almost too good across, wasn't it?
Here to Jake Lawler. He plays one long looking for Hurst, but the goalkeeper will claim that one with relative comfort and rolls it out too. And now there's a chance for a counter-attack as Kirby comes down the left flank for Tranmere, cuts in field. He's played a little reverse ball into the area, finds Norwood. Norwood gets a shot away, blocked by Atkinson. Rob Atkinson knocks it behind for another Tranmere corner. They've had plenty of corners in this game, haven't they, the visitors?
They've had plenty of chances, haven't they? Something had to be done by guys then. They managed to get it out, having to concede the corner though.
Well, the visitors trying to urge their side as Guiseley are just trying to return a ball. There's definitely a bit of action again down the Lions bench, but I think it might be Adam Boyes, and I think it might be him anyway. It's hard to say if he's warming up, but nonetheless there's a corner to attend to here for the Lions, and there's 6 or 7 yellow shirts for the Tranmere players to pick out from this corner. It's headed away by Jake Lawler, only as far as the edge of the area, where it's drilled in with purpose there from Jeff Hughes on the edge of the D, but goes wide of the mark. And in fact, I think we might be about to see the introduction of the man who we've been waiting for all season long, and it looks to me very much, unless my eyes are mistaken, like Ollie Johnson, Chris, is going to make his first foray onto the field.
I've taken one headphone off in preparation for what I'm sure will be a great round of applause for Ollie Johnson.
This huge appreciation for the job that Ollie Johnson did to get us into this division on a couple of occasions in those playoffs. He was absolutely unplayable. But now he's had a long layoff. He's had injury problems that are well documented. He's had to take some time to try and get those sorted out, and operations. And
I said to Dave at half-time, it's just staggering to think the last time Ollie Johnson was featured in a competitive match of any form was that playoff final.
Playoff final, wasn't he, when he went off injured? Yeah.
When he went off after, 25 minutes or so injured, and we've never seen him on a field since.
And yet, filed that weekend before, he was absolutely brilliant, wasn't he?
He was.
He was the difference in that game on so many levels.
That and a really good strike from Andy Holdsworth.
Yes. We've really missed him, though, haven't we, in his full pomp. So let's hope this is the start of the return for Ollie Johnson. Guiseley now have to set themselves up for the next 15, 13 minutes or so of this game. Still level terms, 2-2 here. Hatfield on the ball, gets it over the halfway line. Has to return it though to Ioweki, who in turn, the centre half, plays the ball across to the right hand side, and Riley steps up, plays it long and all the way through to Dan Atkinson. 12 minutes to go, 2-2. Ollie Johnson back on the field of play for the Lions. He's up to...
Can you imagine?
And he's on the ball now, just tries to set himself up to run, and actually runs the ball out into touch, so not too much pressure on him. A goal from Eastleigh, 1-1 now. They were down to 10 men, and Woking were leading at half-time, but it's now Eastleigh 1, Woking 1, battling hard for the playoffs themselves. Tranmere 2-2 at the moment here with Guiseley. They'll be looking at those other scorelines tonight if they drop points, but it seems like a long way to go yet for the Lions. Throwing on the halfway line towards Higdon. Up in the air, Meckie takes it down on that right-hand side. He goes to ground. The referee will give the free kick. Danny Lowe came in with the challenge. Meckie made sure the referee saw it. And it's a free kick on that right-hand side, about level with the penalty spot. And this is a real chance for Tranmere to press and get bodies into this box here.
Yeah, that's exactly what they're doing. Look, everybody's inside the Guiseley half, apart from the goalkeeper, who's midway inside the Tranmere half. Nearest man to anything like defending is the substitute Riley. Every Guiseley player is back inside the 18-yard box.
This is a real tense moment for the Lions. Score 2-2 with just 10 minutes to go. Tranmere with a free kick on the right-hand side of the penalty box. And lots of players in the area pressing and looking to get on this ball that's going to be whipped in from this side. It's floated in towards the 6-yard box, headed away well by Danny Lowe. Great example from the captain, but it's flicked back in by Vaughan. Headed away again. Ollie Johnson makes a flick forward, but there's nobody ahead of him. But now James Hurst picks the ball up. He's got Ollie Johnson on the left-hand side and acres of space, but Hurst has only got tunnel vision to go down that right-hand side. He's surrounded by yellow shirts, but does well to earn the throw-in from Steve Jennings. And Guiseley will have a throw, which he takes quickly, gives it to Gavin Rothery. Rothery back to Hurst, who's scored twice already this evening. He chips the ball in towards the box, taken down in the chest of Ollie Johnson, picked up here by Gavin Rothery, plays it to the right hand side, drilled in by Dickinson, great save from the goalkeeper. Hurst now on the right flank, back into the box, to the edge of the area. Lawler with a strike, but it's blocked and deflects away. A great chance there for Guiseley to have sneaked a third goal in this game. Danny Lowe on the ball, back to the halfway line, to Hall. Guiseley still in an attacking ascendancy, and then Hall goes backwards. Almost robbed by Norwood, gives it to Dan Atkinson. The momentum slightly lost here. Rob Atkinson on the ball. He'll send it long, up towards Hurst. Hurst chases this one on the right-hand side. It's headed away from him, though, and then into the body of Hatfield and out for a throw into Tranmere in left-back position. What a chance that was for Guiseley.
Oh, massive chance, wasn't it? Massive opportunity for guys to get themselves ahead.
Throw in from Tranmere up to the halfway line, taken down by Rothery, chipped forward, finds Dickinson, back to Rothery. Rothery having a run at this back line, he's taken down. Referee says he's won the ball, but Guiseley win the second phase anyway. Well won by Dickinson, into Toulson. Toulson now finds Hurst on this right hand side. Hurst can cross, he does, whips it into the box, and it's somehow forced away. Toulson will pick up the second phase once again. He's looking for options, he chips it in towards the penalty area, but easily defended. Jake Lawler helps the ball on, but now there's the counter-attack on, and it's flicked forward and into the path of Norwood. Norwood on the left-hand side, up against Rob Atkinson. Atkinson has to hold him up. Atkinson gets a good tackle, but Norwood keeps hold of the ball, still on that left-hand side. Atkinson does well to shackle him and hold him up as Guiseley get the bodies back now. Hughes gets the ball into the box, looking for the run of Kirby. Kirby manages to win it back and plays it back here to Jennings. The captain now chips the ball into the area, right off into towards the goal. Managed to force clear, only as far as Vaughan. Vaughan will drill it in from distance. Ollie Johnson with a thundering tackle to win and block the shot, but still he come forward to Vaughan, and it takes a deflection and yet another corner to Tranmere, who are now absolutely sucking that ball towards the net, those fans behind that goal.
Well, we've got 7 and a bit to go plus added time. Very, very tense.
Could have been goals at either end. This corner on the right hand side, Tranmere with so many men committed forward, headed away well by Danny Lowe once again, though. Nodded back in by Hughes. Jake Lawler gets a convincing clearance. He slices it behind for another corner to Tranmere. And as one moment of pressure passes, another one arrives. And it's another corner from exactly the same position on the right-hand side. Again, so many yellow shirts in that penalty area. Again, headed away this time by Danny Hall. Up towards Ollie Johnson, the most advanced player forward. He manages to just volley the ball over the fence and into the cricket field, which gives Guiseley a few more seconds to set themselves. But Tranmere still with the attacking momentum behind them now for the moment. Play the ball from Hughes in towards the edge of the 18-yard box. Good tackle comes in again from Danny Lowe, who's had a magnificent game this evening. Goes all the way back to the Tranmere backline, chip forward down the right hand side. Good flick from Meckie, is intercepted this time from Guiseley. Gavin Rothery inside his own half, gives it to Lawler, back to left back where Danny Lowe needs to get a foot through it, but under pressure is forced to hit touch, and it's going to be another Tranmere throw. You just sense the momentum with the visitors with 6 minutes to go now beginning to set in. Tranmere looking for these 3 points. Guiseley, I think we would be very happy with this point from this evening's game. Might have snuck all 3, but now Norwood with a shot from distance. It's always rising, goes over the bar and dips back into the fans beyond the goal, and it's behind for a goal kick. But again, just a ball into the edge of the 18-yard box, and Norwood picked it up, took it well with the first touch, and the volley over the bar.
Yeah, he swivelled well on the turn, got the shot off. Not far over the top of the crossbar, it has to be said. So a good opportunity for Tranmere with 5 plus added time to go. Can we see this through? I bet so. Can we nick it? To be fair, I think if at the start of the night you said take a point at home to Tranmere, you just snatched the hand off.
Back to the goalkeeper, Scott Davies.
It's certainly been hard work.
Oh, the ball's been nodded down. It's fecked up by Kirby on the edge of the 18-yard box, but a brilliant tackle comes in from Danny Hall. Danny Hall then threads the ball into Ollie Johnson inside the centre circle, inside his own half. does well to just retain control and then sets off on a run. He's brought down. Free kick wasn't given because the advantage is played. Guiseley still in possession of the ball. Ollie Johnson back onto his feet. Danny Lowe has him onto the left-hand side. If he picks him up, holds onto the ball just a little too long. Johnson picks it up, cuts in field, drills one in towards goal from distance, just past the upright and behind for a goal kick. But that was just like the Ollie Johnson of old there for a moment, picking the ball up on that left-hand side, cutting in field and getting a shot away. It would have been magical, wouldn't it, if he'd hit the back of the net there. But as it is, it's behind for a goal kick.
He only had one idea, didn't he? As soon as he picked up that ball on the left-hand side, he was driving infield, looking to cut inside, get it onto his right foot, got a decent shot away, had the keeper beat, just a yard or two wide of the far upright.
Altrincham 1, Gateshead 3 now. Altrincham had been back on level terms in that game. Gateshead now looking to secure those 3 points, I would think. It's good news for Guiseley. But unfortunately, Tranmere have just been awarded a throw-in inside the Lions' half midway through. Referee Stephen Ross just bringing back the throw as Rydolph wants to creep a few yards forward. Liam Dickinson gets a thundering challenge in to win the ball back, sends it back to the back line, and Toulson has to just ship it forward into empty territory because there's no Guiseley players in that box. And still the Lions are under pressure because the ball away from the goalkeeper with 3 minutes to go.
Liam Dickinson looks absolutely shattered.
Plays it forward. It's picked up now by Hurst. Hurst takes the ball down the right-hand side. Hurst tries to get past the full-back and he gets frustrated because Rydolph gets in his way. The free kick is given against James Hurst, quite rightly. And now Guiseley need to set themselves again as the free kick deep inside the Tranmere half will be sent long by the goalkeeper Davies. Sends it up, flicked on by Higdon, helped away by Will Hatfield. Toulson in field now, finds Lawler. Lawler plays the ball out to the left-hand side. Guiseley just in possession of the ball comfortably for a moment and then played long by Lowe. Up towards Dickinson, chested down, finds Gavin Rothery, takes a shot from distance, deflected off the defender, but that takes the fizz right off the ball and into the safe hands of Scott Davies.
That's a great shame that in that situation that was the perfect Norburn situation, it has to be said. That kind of range, defender did well. Though Nick Heath's been in touch, by the way. He says he's biting his nails here in Budapest and he's getting very concerned that we keep getting Norburn and Norwood mixed up.
The ball played in by Kirby, headed away. There's a chase on for Ollie Johnson to get, but he's not going to win that ball. It's picked up by Vaughan. I didn't think we had. Ball into the box, and then a little back heel from Meckie.
I think he's getting mixed up, not us, don't worry.
Straight into the goalkeeper. I wouldn't put it past me, to be honest. Wouldn't push anything past me. It's rolled out to left back and chipped forward up towards Dickinson. And Will Hatfield wins it. It's then muscled off the ball. And in the end, a rather scrappy passage of play ends up with Tranmere getting a throw on the right-hand side. A minute plus stoppages, really, to go. Tranmere in possession of the ball. What we don't want is that late winner, do we, for Tranmere? That's exactly what we don't want tonight. A really spirited performance from Guiseley.
This would be a really good point if we can see it through.
Throw in for the Lions on the halfway line as well, so just chance to, as you can see, just take our time to get the ball back and play it down that left flank for Liam Dickinson, who, as you said, Chris, earlier on, he's worked ever so hard this evening, hasn't he? He's put in a right old shift.
Yeah, he has put in a really good shift. He's not a great deal of luck in front of goal, or the chances really haven't came to him in front of goal.
And Guiseley win the ball back. Liam Dickinson battling again for it as the throw-in from Tranmere results eventually in Scott Davies putting his foot through the ball and sending it long, but well won back by Rob Atkinson. Up in the air there from Hurst. And actually there's a offside decision against Higdon, which means that Guiseley will have a free kick. Got one more substitution we could use, but I think the board is going up at the moment for the added time, and I can see the number 3. Hurst has been brought down on this near side, midway through the Tranmere half on the right flank, so Guiseley will get a free kick, and This is a chance actually to get some bodies forward, play a set piece into the box. We haven't been doing so well with these set pieces this evening, but it's a chance now for Jake Lawler, for Dickinson, for Rob Atkinson, for Hurst, Danny Hall, all to get in towards the edge of the 18-yard box. Guys, they are going to go for this.
We can see what it means to Tranmere, the fact that they've only left Norwood up.
Rothery floats it, he slips as he takes it. Once again, it's a bit of a disappointment. Back here to Rothery now. This time he plays a better ball into the box, keeps his footing. It's headed clear though, picked up by Dickinson at the back post. He'll drill this one in from distance. Sorry, it was Hurst, I beg your pardon, looking for his hat-trick, and it's taken a deflection. It's gone behind for a Guiseley corner. Home fans like that. Chance now for the Lions perhaps to snatch it at the death, but with 2 minutes, a minute gone of the added three, there's always the fear of the counter-attack, isn't there, in such scenarios? Free kick, corner kick rather, from the left-hand side. Guys, you have 5 in the box, 6, including Ollie Johnson on the edge of the 18-yard box. This one whipped in straight at the goalkeeper, and immediately the counter-attack will be on for Tranmere, and it's sent long. This time it's going to be too long for Kirby, and it'll go all the way back to Dan Atkinson, who can just take his time, hold on to the ball, force Adam Meckie to make the run forward, to force him to pick it up. And Dan Atkinson looking for his options. He lofts this one up, looking for Liam Dickinson. Jump and battling and trying to win the ball. In with the frontman, Gavin Rothery. Can't make the interception, and now it comes away. Tranmere moving the ball down this right-hand side with some real purpose. The ball whipped in towards Meckie. Taken away from him by Danny Hall. The second phase won back by Tranmere. Last chance saloon for them to get the winning goal here this evening. 2 minutes of the 3 gone. The ball down this left-hand side with Kirby, the man who scored that second goal. He's dispossessed. Guys who win possession back. And now Gavin Rothery inside his own half. Not many options for him. Picks a good ball out to the left-hand side to find Danny Lowe. Danny Lowe will try and stretch this one long. Goes towards Hurst. It's intercepted by Rydolph. Picked up though by Dickinson. Dickinson finds Toulson. Toulson gives it back to James Hurst. He's got the ball, or the ball at the right-hand flank of the pitch, but he's no options inside the box. Goes to Toulson. Toulson floats one in, this time comfortably headed away. Chance for Tranmere to start the counter-attack. The jetpack put on here by Norwood as he goes down the left flank once again. He was the man who scored late on in that game, originally at Prenton Park, to give Tranmere the 3 points on that occasion. He plays it square now. Meckie from distance. He fires one over. He set himself up for it well. Found some space. He was about 25 yards from goal though. He went for power and it blasts high and wide.
Well, that should see that out. We're going to see a change for Guiseley. And it's Liam Dickinson going off, being replaced by Adam Boyes. And I don't think Adam Boyes is going to touch this ball, because as soon as Dan Atkinson sends this downfield from the goal kick, that should be that. And the Lions will have earned a very hard fought and a very, very good point, with Tranmere on such a good run of form in recent weeks.
Altrincham 2, Gateshead 3. Late goal there for the Robins as they press to try perhaps get a point out of their game. Dickinson off, Boys on. Free kick's taken, the goal kick rather, and that is the last kick of the game, and a super point for the Lions. Twice behind in this game, and twice James Hurst scored to get us back onto level terms. Finished here, Guiseley 2, Tranmere 2.
Well, as you say, that is a superb point for the Lions in Guiseley's quest for survival. Tranmere, no doubt, will be disappointed with the way things have panned out this evening after going ahead twice. They'll have been very disappointed to concede the lead on both occasions. But what Guiseley have got there is a very well-earned point, a very hard-fought point, and a really good result against one of the bigger clubs, without a doubt, in this division. And it shows great character and resilience to be able to come back twice from being behind to come back and get a point. And we had the chances as well to try and nick it to win it. We just couldn't quite do it. To be fair, though, we're not going to complain with the way that Tranmere had a lot of their play this evening.
Thanks, Chris, and thanks to Colin for his coverage, for both of your coverage tonight. We'd have snapped your hand off for a point at the beginning of the after 20 minutes, wouldn't we?
Wouldn't we just? Wouldn't we just?
That was a really creditable point, and I thought a really good second half performance by the Lions there. I think they stayed strong at the back. Tranmere are a good side, a strong side, pass the ball around well, create chances, really stretched the defence at times, but they held firm. Maybe rode their luck a little bit, maybe just a little bit unlucky not to have snicked it. Don't you think? We hit the crossbar, Chris.
To be fair, I think at some stage in this game, both sides probably could have nicked it, but absolutely the fact that we hit the crossbar. I'm trying to think what the score was at that point. I think it was 2-2, wasn't it, at that stage?
Yeah.
No, it wasn't. It was 1-1 because it was just before Tranmere got their second.
I've been covering the Guiseley Twitter feed this evening, and my goodness, I couldn't really keep up at that point with Tranmere's goal and then Guiseley's goal. All happened very quickly, didn't it?
A superb point, though.
But
credit
where it's due. The Lions, heads didn't go down. They got back up, and they got themselves back in the game.
It has to be said for me. That's the first time for a little while, at least, that we've shown that bit of comeback ability.
Comeback ability. I like that word, Chris, and that's a good word actually tonight as well to describe how the Lions responded to that.
If I'm completely honest, it's something that I think has been lacking from Guiseley's game over the last couple of years, to be honest. It was something that Steve Kittrick Guiseley's side had in abundance. That ability to, even if we were 2 or 3-0 down, you kind of almost never worried. And on so many occasions, we did come back to get wins and points in that situation. Not necessarily been convinced by that in this Guiseley side. However, tonight, we really did show it, and we needed to as well. And to come back so quickly as well. I mean, there was 3 minutes between the first Tranmere goal and the first Guiseley goal.
Yep.
And less than that, I think, between the second goals for each side.
Really, lots of positives to bring out of tonight's game.
And Ollie Johnson got on the pitch.
Ollie Johnson got on the pitch, and at that point it was kind of difficult for him to really make any kind of great impression. However, he had a good effort. He took the ball edge of the box, turned a defender, took a shot. Only narrowly went wide. Nearly that fairy tale return for OJ. It's just good to see him in a white shirt on the pitch at Nethermoor once again. But there were good performances all over the pitch. I thought, obviously James Hurst, he scored 2 goals tonight, but he was busy all night and really getting involved. Hatfield again put in another shift. Norburn, I was a little bit surprised to see him taken off for Rotherham. Nothing against Rotherham, but
I thought it would have been Hatfield at that point. That would have been the more likely option to have gone off, but it was Norburn. Hatfield has played well, but I just thought personally Norburn offered more.
And Dicko made 92.5 minutes out of the 93 played tonight. So
yeah, we saw the most pointless substitution in history
the most
as Adam Boyes runs on the pitch and ran off the pitch afterwards. Question.
Yep.
Come out to Liam Dickinson. I've seen on an app that they've credited that first goal with Liam Dickinson. It was James Hurst, wasn't it?
No, it was James Hurst.
I'm sure it was James Hurst, but the scoring app that we use has credited Liam Dickinson with that first goal.
So they have. No, it was James Hurst.
I'm sure it
absolutely was. James Hurst. I suppose James Hurst is 36 and Dicko's 16.
That's what
so I wonder if they've just mixed up the numbers. But
right, the scores from elsewhere.
Right now we can.
Freezing.
It is proper cold here at Nethermoor, but tell you what, we've been warmed up by a fantastic game of football. Actually, I really, really enjoyed that game. Right, we'll go through some scores, then we'll look at the standings. We can look at the standings now that it's full time, Chris. So, scores in the National League tonight: Barrow 0, Boreham Wood 0, Bromley 1, Halifax 0. The most extraordinary scoreline of the night: a 10-goal thriller at the Diva Stadium. Chester 8, Aldershot 2. Aldershot,
That's remarkable.
Aldershot fans, I imagine, already halfway home. Dover 2, Welling 1. So a good comeback for Dover there. And Eastleigh and Woking both reduced to 10 men. That game actually still in progress, no doubt. It's had a fair bit of stoppage time there. Eastleigh 1, Woking 1. That'll be a creditable point for Woking there. Grimsby 1, Southport 0, Guiseley 2, Tranmere 2, and Torquay 0, Braintree 0. So at let's go at the business end from where Guiseley are concerned. Kidderminster still well on the bottom there. Welling almost doing well against Dover tonight, but coming up short. Kidderminster played 37 points, 24. Welling played 37. points 27. Torquay played 34, points 33. They've still got some games in hand. They'll be hoping to put a run together. Altrincham 35 and 35. Halifax 35 and 36. 19th place Boreham Wood 36 and 36. Guiseley played 35 and 40 points. Just above us there, South Park played 30. Southport? Something quite different.
A very different
football team. Southport played 37 points, 42. Barrow played 35 points, 43. Chester, 8-2 winners this evening, played 36 points, 43. So we're 5 points clear of the relegation zone, having a game in hand on Boreham Wood, but played the same as Halifax and Altrincham. It is tight.
It is very tight.
It's going to take a few more performances like tonight, though. I think.
So what have we played? 35.
We've played 35. We've got 40 points. So
11 games to go. That's slightly staggering itself.
It's tantalisingly close, isn't it?
It is.
You know, if we play like that a few more times here, I don't see any reason. I'm not going to say it out loud, but there's cause for optimism, I think.
Let's just we want to beat Grimsby next Tuesday.
Another huge game at Nethermoor. After visiting Bromley on Saturday, another huge game at Nethermoor. Grimsby are the visitors on Tuesday night. We'll quickly go through the Vanarama National League North scorelines. Fylde 2, Corby 1, Gainsborough 0, Curzon Ashton 2, Tamworth win 1-0 against 10 men Harrogate Town, Worcester 1, Alfreton 1 at the top of the north. Then Solihull played 32 points 68. Harrogate played 31 points 59. Fylde played 32 points 59. North Ferriby played 32 points 57, and Nuneaton played 32 points 55. Boston played 33 and points 55 are just outside the playoff zone. We'll go up a little bit into League 2. Accrington 1, Portsmouth 3, Bristol Rovers 3, Wimbledon 1, Dagenham 0, Carlisle 0, Newport 0, Barnet 3. League 1. Bradford City 2-0 winners over league leaders Burton Albion there. Scunthorpe 2, Doncaster 0, Shrewsbury 2, Coventry 1. And way up in the Championship, I can tell you, first of all, Leeds have won away at Cardiff. Cardiff had a man sent off. They've won 2-0 tonight. Blackburn 2, Birmingham 0, Charlton 0, Milton Keynes 0, Fulham 2, Burnley 3. Huddersfield winners over Reading 3-1. Nottingham 1, Preston 0, QPR 2, Derby 0. Rotherham down to 10 men but win against the league lead against league high flyers Middlesbrough. Wolves 2, Bristol City 1, Bolton 1, Ipswich 2 is still ongoing, and Brighton 0, Sheffield Wednesday 0 is into the 89th minute. You are fully caught up. Also, Arsenal beat Hull in the FA Cup. You are fully caught up with the results tonight. Thank you for joining us on Guiseley Radio. We'll be back on Saturday when we travel down to Bromley for another tough game. Hey, look, there's 11 games left. They're all tough from this point on. But after a performance like tonight, there is cause for optimism at Nethermoor. It's very, very cold here, but there is warmth on the pitch after a fantastic 2-2 draw. We'll see you on Saturday. Thanks for joining us.